What is going on, guys, and welcome back for another episode of TSP, episode 160. It feels great to be back after that 1 week break for Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving and filled up the guts. This week, joined Bobby and myself, alongside with friend of show and second appearance, entertainer extraordinaire Terrell Wright, aka Flamingo Jackson, as this week's celebrity third host. With Terrell Wright, we go on a 2.5 hour long banger of an episode with plenty to talk about. As always, we catch each other up on the weeks that we've missed. Bobby coming off one of the shittiest days he's had in a long time. We dive into some sports and great food talk, the ups and downs of being an entertainer on social media platforms. We go around the mill with GTA Rockstar finally announcing the official Part 1 trailer of GTA 6. A Subway footlong, but it's a cookie. Nothing tops a good old-fashioned WWE crowd pop, and we got just that with CM Punk's return. And the last time that we had Terrell Wright on, there was a slap at the Oscars that was heard around the world, and we all witnessed Will Smith's rock bottom. And now that time has passed and new information has been shown to light, no thanks to Jada, Terrell Wright gives his thoughts and theories on the whole situation. Also, it's that time of year, the end of the year, and whatever platform you listen on, whether it's Apple Music or Spotify, they give you the review of what you have been listening to and your top artists and genres. The boys of TSP share theirs, and the thoughts of the podcast wrapped in Spotify you don't want to miss. And we wrap it all up with Terrell going over the current status of his career and going forward, what he plans to do, maybe even starting a podcast of his own. And did he steal or did he not steal? Tune in to find out as he shares a story where he was simply grocery shopping and was getting eyed down by a couple loss preventions. As always, if you enjoy this episode, be sure to give it the thumbs up, hit the bell icon, subscribe, like, comment, and share. It definitely helps us with the algorithms and going forward and getting to new listeners and viewers. Also, down below, you'll find a link to Terrell Wright's Linktree. Be sure to click on that, and you'll find his YouTube and TikTok. Go give him a follow, subscribe. I know he'll greatly appreciate that. And with all that being said, thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the episode.
You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in. You are now tuned. You are now tuned in to the TSP. Got the game in our hand like a PSP. Bob Dylan Joe, one hell of a show. All them other podcasts, let it go. That y'all recording boring, gotta snore. TSP hitting like teeth early in the morning. Been doing all things since 2019. Pay respect, bow down, baby, kiss the ring. Take a second, enjoy the moment. You witnessing greatness. Still welcome if you new, forgiving your lateness. You streaming in your car, then let it ride. If you on the YouTube, like the video, subscribe. You are now tuned in to the TSP. You are now tuned in to the You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in to TSP.
Yes, sir. TSP episode 160. I'm your host, Bobby Hall, and with me, as always, my co-hosts, Dylan the Savage and Joe the Greek. No, just me? No one? Not even Dylan, though? It's just me now, I guess. They left me alone. I guess I don't have anyone with me, as always. As always, it's just your boy, B Hall. We're doing it, baby. For episode 160, off to a hot ass start. It's great to be back after a little week hiatus, to enjoy a little Thanksgiving time with the family. I don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna keep rocking, keep rolling. I'm gonna keep sipping this weird ass tasting Gorilla Mine sour watermelon that I wish that I didn't get. But this bitch is like $3.50, so I'm gonna finish this motherfucker. Dylan, I hear you snickering in the back. What are we doing here?
Well, I was just going to bring me on when you got the intros right.
What do you mean?
With you as always, Joe the Greek.
Well, yeah, I had a question mark at the end.
Okay, fine. I'll bring us on.
Okay. Cool little
Joe looks a little
inside joke
different today.
there, a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Just a tad, man. Joe, you look actually better than ever. So
Yeah,
whatever you're
I'm
doing,
the new version. I'm the
keep it
new
going,
version
man.
of Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe's black now. His credit score just went down to 500.
Yeah, it's actually it's Joe the Freak, so not Joe the Greek anymore. Yeah, because if you guys knew we were talking about the pre-production, you'd understand why. But yeah, as you can tell, Joe had to miss another week. It is what it is. He had some stuff going on, so we had Terrell here. Terrell Wright is with us for episode 160. He was gonna be the guest, and he still is, but I told him he's gonna just take the third mic for the whole show and just talk some shop, which was really the plan anyways. But
In the flesh.
now he's right here. Instead of doing our little 3-guy intro that we usually do, we'll bring him right out the gate, and he can kind of give his 2 cents and opinions on some of our topics. But Dylan,
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of liked it last time when y'all you did your thing and then you like let up and then you brought me in and it was just this big moment and I felt really special. I mean, I feel special still now, but not as special as I did last time. So next time I'm gonna come on this podcast, I'm now gonna charge you back to like maybe only like a half off discount now. So,
well, I mean, we gotta pay you as if you're on the actual TSP payroll because you're taking the third mic this week. So I mean,
okay.
we're already in the hole with you.
Okay.
Pause.
All right. Don't get in the hole.
Yeah, I gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch
Joe the Freak over here. I hope y'all are ready.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Because like I just said in our intro or whatever you want to call that, we took last week off for Thanksgiving, so it's been a couple weeks. We're both ready to go, excited to be back. Dylan, how was Thanksgiving, man? I mean, I know it wasn't your most ideal scenario from what you told me and Joe late last week, but how'd everything go, man?
First and foremost, sorry for leaving you out there to dry in the intro. I guess I wasn't.
I thought because I mean that's TSP, dude. We go through all kind of shit every week, so I thought that was the latest thing. So I was trying to let it rock as best as possible. But after like 3 minutes, I'm like, okay. And then I heard you fucking snickering. So I'm
like, all right. It was comedy gold right there. Just kind of like leaving you out there.
I have no idea what's going on.
Watching Bobby try to go off the fly was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was strong for a minute, but I was like, all right, now something is going on. Like, am I about to do?
I'm just gonna sit
an
here
hour
and
and a
drink
half
on
by
this
myself?
bubbly for a little bit longer.
Dude, I'm just gonna drink this here drink.
trying to focus, and then at the same time have half my brain wondering what's going on, what the problem is.
No, that was good.
I should have just halted off the gate, but
no,
I was ready to go, man. It's been 2 weeks. I was ready to rock.
But yeah, Thanksgiving on my end of things. It was just like a combination of multiple things going on. Working nights. We had to work Wednesday night into Thanksgiving morning, and I fucking ran our longest run up there to Chicago, and that's a 12-hour night minimum. And so got back, got like an hour nap, showered up, headed up to Toledo, which is like just under a 2-hour drive. Well, it's actually about a 2-hour drive because she's actually in Toledo, not Perrysburg. But we went to I was going to call her the wife, even though we're only engaged for what, like 6 years now. So the wife, so I guess my sister-in-law, she just had a new house. Congratulations to her. She wanted to christen the house with the first holiday and had everyone over. But yeah, I was just out of it. I mean, I spent more time with like Jen's dad watching Thanksgiving football more than anything. Lost money, so that added to my misery because of course I'm going to bet on the games. If there's a game on, I'm watching it. I'm going to entice it with a little bit of cheddar, and cheddar was lost. So I'm lactose intolerant when it comes to betting. But
can we talk about something real quick?
What's that?
How in the hell did you commit to something but then not commit at the same time? You've been engaged for 6 years.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it is a running on joke.
Good point.
But I mean, no, I'm the best at committing yet not committing. So
That is the most committed non-commit I've ever heard.
but let's be honest, like that's probably the sweetest spot in any relationship possible. It's not marriage, right? But
That is
it's
right.
better than being boyfriend and girlfriend.
And Tori, I mean, we've been together like about almost 8 years, so I think she would love to be engaged for 6 years. So,
I mean,
yeah,
both of y'all.
Yeah,
what y'all
definitely.
waiting on? Me and my wife are married within 4 months.
you're about to, you're about to
Right.
get
I
in
mean,
trouble
let's
here,
be
man.
honest now. The
You're
women
about to get us both in trouble.
she got what she wanted, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she got the jewelry. She got the gem. So
You put a ring on it.
Yeah.
It's outdated at this point.
no, I mean you get those Leo diamonds. They get they get those free cleanings for a lifetime.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
gotta take it to K Jewelers if you're around one, that is. But
Dylan's like, we're gonna get married in like, I don't know, 15 years. That works. That sounds right.
Maybe never. Maybe never.
Just Oprah Stedman that shit.
Yeah,
Just
it all depends. And I mean, from a realistic standpoint, it's mainly because of financials. She gets more money. I mean, because the government sees her as like a single mom with 2 kids, and like doesn't
Right.
see me in the picture at all. But
right. Hey, I mean,
yeah,
at
we're
the end
soaking
of the
up
day,
those benefits for sure.
oh yeah, yeah. If come tax time, that check's gonna be a whole lot better with her, doing things the way they are now, versus y'all getting married. I'm all for that.
100%.
I'm all for that. As long as y'all know nobody's going anywhere. I mean, what's that piece of paper? Because at the end of the day, man, sometimes that piece of paper don't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That piece of paper is just a contract. You gotta want to be in it. You gotta want to wake up to that person every single day.
Yeah, and I understand also that the woman wants their day, their day to shine in the white dress and all that kind of fun stuff. So I mean, eventually, someday, I'm not against it. Like I'm not just staying engaged because I'm hesitant and getting cold feet or anything. It's just someday
Okay.
we'll do it.
I'm glad you said that for the podcast.
I wanted to clarify that for the record.
Yeah, it's gonna live forever. So
Yep. Smart man.
But yeah, man, that's you're a soldier, man. Trekking through an hour of sleep, and then have to make a 2-hour drive. I'm just because neither me or her have very much family. So basically, when it comes to like holidays and shit, especially now that like I'm kind of ostracized from like my parents and stuff, because me and my dad had our falling out and stuff. So we don't do anything with them anymore. It's just us, me, her, and our 2 kids, which I'm perfectly okay with. We'll cook our shit. We stay here. I'm wearing elastics. These people that got to dress up and wear jeans and belts and stuff. We got to go to grandma's house and then aunt and uncle's and then in-laws. Like, fuck that, dude. I'm gonna cook my shit. I'm gonna come down in the basement on the couch, like watch football and just and pig out and enjoy myself, man. So
Yeah.
Sometimes when I was growing up, I kind of would envy some of the people that had like bigger families and stuff, and you got multiple aunts, uncles, and cousins stuff, and could kind of have the conventional family experience. But now that I'm older, I'm just like, I'm cool with just staying home, and I got to worry about going anywhere. We just do our thing, and it was cool.
Yeah, definitely. Just I've always on that same track where you just need to have one event. I would never understood the whole and I know people who do it. Like they go like their side of the family, then they have to go plan it to go to the other side of the family. It's like, no, let's just let's figure out a day. Usually, let's have it on Thanksgiving Day because everyone has that day off usually, and then it's just like we can figure it out from there, whose house it's going to be, and then we just all migrate to that location. Just get it done one shot, as opposed to like trying to schedule out all these different events. So, but I am thankful that I'm going to be hosting Christmas yet again. Well, not really, because Jen's side of the family won't be able to make it because her other sister is having a baby. Congratulations to her. She's going to have a baby girl here coming up in the next couple weeks. So she'll be kind of locked up with the newborn there. So her parents are going to be going down to Kentucky to spend some Christmas time with them, since she's going to be bedridden, probably recovering, all that fun stuff after, post-op.
There you go, man. I think
Post-op, she must be getting slid open.
I think I talked to you guys about it. Yeah.
Those
Good
are
luck with
fun.
that. Yikes. I told you and Joe, I think, because last couple years, or really every year, I try to do like prime rib for Christmas. I mean, it's fucking decadent and just absolutely delicious. But I'm anticipating, just like everything else, the price of prime rib is probably going to skyrocket. So I think we'll see, though. I mean, anything, I might even, because you can get like a rib roast, which isn't like prime rib, but it's kind of like the poor man's prime rib. Sometimes those are a little bit cheaper, but if I don't see something that's in my price range, I think I'm just going to do steaks for Christmas. And I
Why
don't think
not?
anyone here is going to complain about that. You know what I mean?
Just do a surf and turf
And
and keep it
really,
moving.
yeah. So I'm going to probably do something like that. Get, because Costco, they got some good strips and shit for like, I don't know, to $45 a pack. And you can get a couple packs of those and you're straight, man. I will be, on cloud nine myself. I would love some prime rib, but I ain't paying no $20 a pound or whatever the hell they're going to try to toss at us this year. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but judging off the price of everything else anymore, I am fully anticipating seeing some crazy prices for some prime rib this year. So that's going to be the plan B.
You said strips. I can't get down with that, man. You got
Ribeye guy?
ribeye. Got to do ribeye all day. Ribeye.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at
tap, all. Oh my gosh! It's like, to me, that is the best piece of a cow. It is the best piece of beef you could ever. It's the best piece of meat you could ever put in your mouth.
Depends on who you
Some
ask.
may argue that.
I mean?
Some may
Depends on who you ask. Yeah. None of our significant others, that's for sure. But
I look, and I don't like fillets. Like, fillets are good, but they're too lean. I like that fat. Like, if I'm going to eat a steak, I want to taste some fat.
I also
want some fat.
Call it like the poor man's ribeye. I think it's the chuck eye steak, which is
chuck eye is good.
A little bit of like marbling and stuff in there with with the fat content, but it's a little bit cheaper. But
it's a lot.
Yeah,
cheaper.
I like ribeyes too, but they're just a little cheaper than the ribeye. But either way, I mean, I said strips just because that's the first thing I thought of, but I mean, just steak in general is probably going to be at the top of the menu here for Christmas. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know what I need to do? I need to do myself another tomahawk.
Sure.
I've never done one.
Oh, I did one in Florida.
D'Lo, he made him one. I used to run this food page on Facebook called Grillers and Thrillers, and it started basically at the beginning of the pandemic. Everyone's home, and one of my favorite things, especially with these guys, and like my other groups of friends, will just send each other whatever cooking and shit, and everyone's oohing and ahhing, and it's just cool. But so I made a page for that one time, and it got up to like, I don't know, 1,500 people. It was pretty dope. But everyone's at home, especially during that time. Everyone was buying Blackstone griddles and shit, and just whatever they're whipping up while they're sitting at home. He'd post it, and it was cool. And yeah, Dylan made a pretty dank looking tomahawk, man.
That sounds nice.
That's like
every time I've seen them, they've been just so expensive. It's like $60-$70 the last time I saw.
Yeah, that sucks because I feel like a third of that price you're just paying for the bone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because it's obviously by pound, and them bones are gigantic. So
that's what she said.
Never, not here.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this.
Oh, I see them grill marks. Okay, Dylan, you think D-Money? You think you know what you're doing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's got some signature stuff. I mean, Dylan, tell him about your signature item.
Oh, anyone who knows me knows that I make a mean D-Lo burger.
The fuck is a D-Lo burger?
Oh, D-Lo burger. My friend Terrell, let me learn you some knowledge here on the D-Lo burger. So yeah, so what you do is, if you had a Meijer, I don't know if they have these at like a Walmart or something, because there's Walmarts everywhere. So if I say Walmart, more people not have that. But there's a party pack. All right, so you would think like gourmet burgers. You're probably pressing your own patties. Seasoning them up. No. You are mistaken. Okay, because these are the Party Pack restaurant quality frozen patties, right? And you you snicker now. Let me tell you, these are the best frozen patties on the market. Okay,
Like
you get
Bubba
like
Burgers?
no, they're
In
restaurant
that
quality.
realm, they're frozen. They're frozen patties. So in that
Yeah.
realm, yeah. But it's like the value pack where you buy like 36 patties for
Yeah.
I don't know what they'd be now, probably $25 these days, but they used to be
Yeah,
like
probably.
$15 or something.
Yeah.
But he
Oh
turns
yeah.
them into magic. I can attest.
So I mean, what do you do to turn them into magic? I mean, they're frozen beef patties. I mean, is there a certain seasoning? Do you throw some butter on them? Like what? What do you do
It's the
to them?
seasoning and it's the Dilo essence, however you want to take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's the essence. It's the flip. Everything down to yeah. Everything down to the slice of cheese you put on top. So
Okay.
I
When
mean
you
it
originally said Dilo burger, I thought it was like a gay burger or something like that. Like
now why the fuck do you think
a
that?
burger you eat on the down low or something.
Yeah, it's totally plant based.
A burger you can't eat around other people.
Yeah, it's like trying to glizzies, you know, she can't eat a hot dog. Hey yo! Yes. That's hilarious.
No, these they're pretty good. I mean, I want to brag, but
You just
I
did. But go ahead.
no, it's good. It's good. It's a good burger. It's a good burger. I mean, I kind of like worked my way to steaks now. I mean, the Delo steaks are pretty superior, and if I do say so myself, getting a compliment from the father-in-law saying that it's the best steak he's ever had. I mean,
You impressed the father-in-law. You're in there.
yeah,
Which
absolutely.
speaking of, I think
Like a Nobel Prize winning.
Joe did a bunch of the cooking for his family's Thanksgiving. I think he went to his in-laws. I believe his father-in-law told him that he is now in charge of bringing the macaroni and cheese for all the events because I guess it was a big hit. So
You get blessed with the ability to bring the macaroni and cheese, my friend. You made it.
And now, did he actually make it, or did he
now
run
Joe
somewhere and
married
grab it?
into a very white family, so I told him I was like, it's incredible what you can do when you introduce people to seasonings. So
He's really only elevating some Velveeta.
yeah. No, he said he sent us some pics. It looked like the real deal for sure. Joe's come a long way, man. He's I told him he's got to bring some of that to the turkey fry, so I hope he
Bro,
does.
like as much
But
as I cook, macaroni and cheese is the thing that I struggle with the most. It's never every one that I make tastes different. They neither one of them have ever tasted the same. The consistencies are always different. When I try to do it with the roux, I always screw the roux up. I don't cook the flour out enough. It winds up tasting. You wind up tasting the flour and the
yeah.
roux. It's bro. I want to be done. I've gone through so many different recipes trying to find the easiest one and the most consistent one that I can make consistently and it tastes good. Still haven't found it
I'll
yet.
have to send you this one because I got one off TikTok and I've been
Okay.
using it and it's fucking fire.
Okay.
I mean, it takes a little more effort because I mean, I don't got any fancy ass cheese grater. I got the old school,
Uh-huh.
rectangular one. So my fucking wrists are on fire because you got to do like 3 or 4 different blocks.
And
But
you have to grate your own cheese. Everybody says
yeah,
that. Like,
got it.
and
Yeah,
I
it
don't
makes all the
ever do it.
difference.
Maybe I should start.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, like I said, it takes more effort, and your forearms are gonna be on fire, but it makes 100% the
Okay.
difference.
Yeah.
It's
I need a good mac and cheese recipe.
yeah,
I
and then
do.
whenever we bring you on next time, we'll have Joe. I don't know what his recipe is, but apparently it's a big hit. But you just found out about the Delo burgers. So when there's a cookout or there's a get together, what are they hitting you up and be like, yo, Terrell, I need you to bring your signature
Oh,
blank, man.
ribs.
Okay,
Ribs all day. All
all right,
day. Anybody who's had my ribs, that's what they want. If I'm gonna be on a grill, if I'm gonna be on a smoker, it's gonna be ribs. I don't always. I do have a couple of rubs that I like to use, but I like to make my own rub. The only thing is I can't ever get the brown sugar to do right. The brown sugar always winds up getting clumped up in it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start doing it in a food processor, but I make my own rub, and I literally just make it to taste. Like I don't even have a recipe for it. I have a guideline, but I just make it to taste. I just put stuff in there based on how I like it.
And
Every
you
time
smoke
it comes
these?
out a little bit different. Huh?
You smoke these?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll smoke them. Sometimes I'll do a hot and fast. If I do it hot and fast, I'll throw some wood chips in with the charcoal. Just to, or like a block of wood just to give it a little bit, more of a smoke flavor. But if I'm a low and slow it, if I'm a do them, 2 hours naked, another maybe 2 or 3 hours wrapped, and then barbecue sauce, really, really hot to caramelize the barbecue sauce. If I'm gonna do it low and slow, that's how I'm gonna do it.
There it is. Now you've been to the Midwest before. We need to get you back over this way. Next time it's got to be Ohio, and then we're gonna have an event, maybe at my house. Whoever, we're gonna have D-Lo burgers there. Joe's gonna have to bring the mac and cheese. I'll have to have you just man my grill. You'll have to be in charge of the ribs.
Hit me up, bro.
And we gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I mean? So
I'm all for it.
That sounds great.
All
But
for it.
yeah, like I said, it's great to be back. Unfortunately, I was telling you guys today, it's been the day of hell. I got woken up today about 6 o'clock in the morning. Although that's usually about the time I get up anyways. But my girlfriend goes out to leave for work. Rear tire's flat, completely flat. So she gets the donut put on. Then she goes over to Discount Tire about 15 minutes from us. And she gets the tire purchased and shit. She just buys the one because she's a set of 4 right now is a little steep, with Christmas time and shit.
Ridiculous how
Yeah, I mean, she
expensive
paid
tires are now.
I think $140 for just the one. So
Well,
I'm sure.
what was wrong with it? Did it have a nail in it?
It had a nail in it, and then I don't know, something was wrong because she's had this car for 4 or 5 years. So the tread on these tires are getting to the point where I think it's gonna. I told her it's gonna have to be a tax season purchase. Like she's just gonna have to get the other 3 done because the treading, you can kind of see the wear and tear. So it was just one of those things. They just couldn't fix it. Although, who the fuck knows, when you go to these places, you probably could have ultimately patched it up and made it a little while.
You can
I
plug
don't know.
the little plug kits. You can
That's
plug
what
them
she went
yourself
there
these
for.
days,
That was
man.
going to be the first option, just to obviously save however much money. But who knows anymore? You really can't trust any of these places. But I don't know any of that kind of shit. So we just kind of roll with the flow on that. But a couple hours later, I have a Kroger pickup. I'm just about on E. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to roll the dice because I'm going to drive over to Perrysburg, which is about 15, 20 minutes from the house. Get there. I'm going to score the extra 150, 200 fuel points. Knock that shit down. I'm going to be getting like under $2 a gallon for gas. It's going to be great. Fill up.
Damn.
And we get about 3/4 of the way there. Run out of gas. First time ever, man. Which is surprising because back in the day when I was in my 20s, just super broke, I used to fucking take some chances, man. And I never ran out of gas. But today, of course, I got my 5-year-old son with me, and it's 40 degrees out. Today's the day that it finally happens. And I had to send out SOS to some of my friends and my guy. Shout out to my boy B Gaw as he answers. And I feel bad because he's got his son who's, I don't know, less than 6 months old. He had to get him dressed up and get him in the truck and bring him out my way so we could get some gas in the truck. But he did, and I really appreciate it.
You had to make somebody bring their infant out to save you.
I felt bad. And here's the thing. I have a group chat of about 7 or 8 dudes. He's like the only one that fucking answers. And I had a guy that lives about 5 minutes from where I was at who called me after my guy Brian said he'd come.
Man, you good? You get everything you need.
The thing is,
yeah,
he calls me. He calls me and he's like, "Hey, I think I just passed you on 785." I'm like, "Yeah, man. I just texted you to see if you could come bring me some gas."
Sean, come lately, motherfucker.
I was like, Gauze, we call him Gauze. Like, Gauze is already on the way. So I was like, oh, all right. Well, if he ends up not being able to come, let me know. I'm like, well, I don't know why the fuck that wouldn't happen. But so we wait.
Don't you hate minutes. That? When people just like call it, like after everything is done, they call you. Hey, you need something?
My one guy, he hits me up. One of my buddies was out to eat, so that's he's good. That's fine there. another buddy of mine lived like 35, 40 minutes away, so it was pointless for him to come. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's all good. Everyone's got shit going on, and that just came out of nowhere. And I mean, it's my fault anyway for being a dumb fuck. I should have just, got gas by the house and not had to worry about it. I was just trying to save some money, but instead, kind of paid the price there. But fortunately, because Monday and Tuesday, I'm sure down by you, I mean, it was cold as fuck. But fortunately, it kind of crept back into like the 40s and even 50s for a couple of days, and that's kind of where it was at today. Luckily, or else that would have been really bad having my son in there. We're both, me and him, are just getting over like a sinus infection we've been like battling for the last 2 weeks. So I'm just dumb, but he came through, gave me a couple gallons of gas, and we got to Kroger. I got my points, and I filled it up. So I owe him big time. He'll be coming here to the house in a few weeks, so I told him, drinks and snacks and everything that that'll be on me. So, but shout out to my guy, man.
Bobby, we got to talk about something. Cars all but take you, like cars will literally almost damn near direct you into a gas station when you're about to run out of gas.
I was
like it gives you every indication.
I was a mile. I passed the gas station, and I was about a mile from the gas station. Then I just passed. It was Lime City Road. I just passed. I don't know. Is that Rossford Elementary or what is that school? I know it's part of Glenwood Elementary.
Yeah, it's not Glenwood.
Whatever
anymore,
that is now. But I just passed that school, past Lime City Road, and that's where. So I was less than a mile away from. I think that's a Barney's right over that
You're going to Kroger. So you're right there by Crossroads.
Yeah, but right there on the corner of 795 and Crossroads is I think it's a Barney's. It's got that Subway and shit. So yeah, I was less than a mile from there. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
How fucked up would it be to run out of gas and you can see the fucking gas station?
I almost did. We were on the other side of right over the overpass where we're at, be a gas station. So, but it's kind of good that we got stopped where we were, because after the overpass, there's 2 turning lanes. So if my shit would have stopped right in those 2 turning lanes, like shit, man, we probably would have got rear-ended by some, person coming over that overpass, not expecting to have a fucking stopped truck there. So if it had to happen, at least it was there. But lesson learned, man. Next time, well, I mean, this first time, like I said, 20 when I was like 20, 18, 20 years old, like my shit would say low fuel level, but I knew that in my head, I'm like, well, that's really about 20, 25 miles.
Back in the day, it didn't give you a miles to empty. It just said low. Or like if your gas light went on, you could go at least another, depending on how you drove, you could go at least another day or two, when the gas light came on. Because, now, I guess now we know that the gas light, when it comes on, you probably still got another 40 or 50 miles maybe before you go empty. But now, cars would be like, all right, you got 20 miles. All right, you got 10. Hey, bro, you got 5 now. And then I think after like 3, it's like low. Like you got to go get some gas like right now.
Does your truck
That's what it said too. It doesn't have a miles thing on there, but like it says like low fuel level. So like I think that's when it's.
What kind of truck you got?
Me.
What year?
I got a 2010 Chevy Silverado. So I think it's probably like a year before really everything started.
I was about to say it had to be around that time. That time they started doing that.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, I was telling these guys, I used to be a busser and I used to run room service for this hotel by my house. And there'd be some days where like I would be super low on gas, but I would drive and I'd be broke. But I'm like, all right, I know I'm about to make some kind of tips here. So I'd go there broke with no gas, roll the dice every time. But fortunately, I'd always end up leaving with like 20 to 50 dollars depending on the night. But
I mean, hell, back then $5 would get you. That'll buy
you
10 days.
And at the same time, I know at the same time I had break glass for emergency. Hey, mom, I'm on the side of the road. Will you come take care of me? Type shit. But now that I'm in my mid-30s, so
damn, I was thinking about it earlier about how when I first started driving, I could go in the gas station. I could fill my car up, go in the gas station and get a bag of chips and a soda or a drink for $20 total. To fill my car up, and I mean gas was 99 cents a gallon. when I started driving. I remember.
Yeah, now you can't even get a meal at Taco Bell for 20.
No,
You know what I mean?
no.
Unless you're one of those people that can eat fucking 2 tacos and be good. That ain't me.
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So, lesson learned on that. But I guess there's a first time for everything. So,
But you
gotta go
got
through
gas
it.
under $2. How much was it?
Yeah, I think it was like 198.
Damn.
That's why I fuck with Kroger, man. The fuel
That's
points
awesome.
that you rack them up so easy because you're gonna spend. I mean, nowadays you're spending $250 minimum a week. So,
Yeah. I paid
and then
$260 something today and thought I was doing something. So
that is, I mean, shit, that's still good.
Yeah.
I mean, less than 2 weeks ago, it was well above 3. So it's you got to take the wins where you can get them, man.
I'm never driving out of my way to save 10, 20 cents a gallon. I'm just whatever's there. I'm just going to top off.
no,
fuck
I
it.
will. If
It's like,
if I'm on E and I stop somewhere and it's like 320 and I know I can get it for 290 something like across town and I'm already gonna be there, I'm gonna throw $10 in. And then I'm
funny you
wait.
say that too, because this morning my girl said that she's like, just go put 5 in and then
That's
go
it.
put the rest in at Kroger. I'm like, nah, I'll be able to make it. I've done this a million times, and then I can't
telling
even. I
you.
on
even
your
said
face.
after, I'm like, you know what? I probably should. The way this morning started with your tire, that's just a bad omen. But I still said,
Yep.
fuck it, and I should have known that's how this day was gonna go. But we got through, man. So shout out to B Gods again. But speaking of Tori, I gotta bring up. I was telling you guys, Dylan, we had I had a very tough sports weekend last weekend. So did you, really? I mean, you're not a Buckeyes fan. I mean, you kind of,
I lost money
I
because
think
of
you
them.
like them more than Michigan, I would say. You're definitely a Browns fan, so you watched how that all unfolded on Sunday.
Yeah.
I guess unexpectedly, but between those, yeah, I mean, Saturday at around 3 to 4 o'clock, I was in a shit mood because Ohio State got their ass beat for the 3rd year in a row, and it got better. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna count on the Browns to salvage this weekend. Ohio State couldn't do it. Fuck them. Sunday, Browns come and shit the bed. So I'm back in there, walking around the house like I'm fucking Squidward, just in a pissy mood. And unfortunately, for Tori, she gets the worst of me in these situations. And we actually had a pretty serious talk like that Monday or Tuesday. She's just like, it's not fair that when these guys lose, like it turns you, into this, not dark person, but you're pissed off, and I have to take that side, and it's not like your friends or anybody else, they don't have to deal with that, and it's not fair to me. And I, sat there and I'm like, I agree, and I told her, I was like, I also realized that it's outside looking in. It's the stupidest shit to probably see a grown man, get completely affected, mood and everything by the result of a sporting event. So, but unfortunately, that's just the way I'm wired. But I got to figure out, to just shake it off. It's going to suck no matter what, but you just kind of got to shake it off because at the end of the day, it's not going to, legitimately affect me, or it shouldn't legitimately affect my day-to-day, operations, or how I carry along, or how I, treat my family. So, it's football, and how serious I take it is starting to affect my home life, and I gotta figure out how to fucking, divide the two. Whatever happens down here in the basement in the man cave, like that's where it stays, and then I go upstairs. I got to be dad and boyfriend and shit, and just got to find the happy medium.
Yeah, in the pre-production, I was kind of riding with you, but as you were talking, I kind of slowly drifted to the other side, and it's like, fuck that. All right, we're men, right? Correct, but we have emotions too, okay? And our emotions, don't align with like your typical like I don't know, celebrity. Oh, like, I don't know, whatever women get like, emotional about, because they have silly things that they get emotional about as well. And like sometimes it's sports. So for us, typically men, we have a fandom of a sports team, ride or died. And like it really brings me back to that viral video of this woman pretty much emasculating her man as I think he was like a Bears fan or he was watching his team, regardless of what it was, a football team, and they lost, and he was like all decked out in it and stuff, and this woman's just fucking being like, "You really crying over a loss?" And it's like, "You acting like you're playing for the team, you acting like you lost," and blah 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 blah. And he pretty much said, you know, it's like, "I've been rooting for this team long before I even knew you." So he's like, I forgot the fucking video. I wish I could just.
And they're not together still, are they?
They probably are, because a lot of people in the comments were on his side. So, but I mean, where I was going with this is like, you can't, like, you ride or die with the team. You know, it does feel like you lost when they lost, because, you know, like that team's kind of like just part of your fabric of your life and your you know, tradition of every Sunday, at least during football season. And it's not like you can flip a switch, you know. So I mean, like, you're going to need grieving periods, especially being a Browns fan. There's like, you're going to have to. I mean, it doesn't affect me. I wouldn't say I'm the same way, but I wouldn't say it affects me like a long time. Like, it definitely ruins the rest of that day. But usually, 24 hours, rinse, repeat, come back, and then it's just like I have a new hope, new optimism for the next following game, and, you know, kind of push forward. It definitely makes the week worse if they lose, especially in some of the fashions that they find ways to lose. But I don't know. I mean, they have to deal with it like once a week for what, like a 6-month period. And like, it's not every week. The Browns have been good lately. So like, they have 7 wins. They have 4 losses. Okay. So if you've been in a pissy mood only 4 times since September, that ain't bad. That ain't too bad. So,
well, Dylan, I'm going to tell you now, your answer is going to make things very difficult for me at home. So thank you for flipping on me last minute.
Well, no, I'm on your side here.
In pre-production,
on the record,
you were riding with me 100%. And 20 minutes later,
now that we recording,
you totally
now
kicked
we
the
on
door.
the record.
Yeah. And the part that she's actually going to hear,
that shit,
now you're like, fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
and
fuck.
And the thing is with this is everything you're saying she's going to act like I said it. So
well,
that's how
no,
things are going to go here.
If she's listening to this right now, this is coming from, you know, Dylan D-Lo, you know, who you know, I just feel like, because I mean, Jen's the same way. I mean, she's like, I hate football season. Yeah, it's like, you know, like, I'm an emotional person when it comes to my Browns, and it's like I ride or die with them, just like, you know, every other Browns fan. And you know, just like I said, it's 24-hour period, grievance period, but it's only 4. Like, it comes with expectation. Okay, like, the higher the expectation for your team, the harder the falls are, I feel like, because like, when you expect your team to win and you have like these goals for the team, they're like in reach, and it's like, when they lose, it hurts more, even though, like, if you look at it on paper, like, they're not set up to win based on the quarterback situations and stuff like that. But that's a whole different subject that I want to get into. Back to the emotions.
Yeah, y'all are talking like you're Chiefs fans or something.
No.
I'm a Panthers fan. I'm used to us losing. So if I got mad every time we lost, I'd be mad every week. Every week.
But it's, I mean, it's true. It's like, I was not mad when we went the 1-15 season, 0-16 season. Like, you're expecting to like lose because your team sucks.
I don't believe
you know
that for 1 second.
I wasn't down bad. Like, I wasn't like, you know, punching walls and stuff going 0-16. It's just like, at some point you're just like, yeah, you expect to lose. If you win, it's great. And it's like, you know, it fucking sucks. But you're like laughing at it at that point in time. It doesn't really kill your day, as opposed to now you have expectations and you're trying to make playoffs and like all this stuff. But
I guess it's different for my situation because like Tori works every weekend. That's her schedule, Friday through Sunday. So and she works at a warehouse, so she's working 12-hour shifts 3 days a week. So she works these 12 hours, comes home, and then she wants to unwind and like chill and hang out with me and, you know, the kids and shit. And then I'm like off-putting and just in a mopey, shitty mood. And it roles reverse if I came home after a long ass day and then there's all fucking toxic negativity going on here. I could see it, and I do see it. So that's why I'm trying to find where to split that. So but
Yeah,
also like I said earlier, I don't necessarily know how to do that because I'm like you, man. I ride or die with these teams, and when we lose, especially when you lose to your biggest rival, like Ohio State did, and then the Browns kind of shit the bed against an inferior opponent. Yeah, I mean, you fucking pissed, but
Why don't you
I just
just
gotta.
watch The Wizard of Oz or some shit after you finish a bad game or
I
something?
think that would make me even more pissed. That would I don't know if
yeah,
I
like
want that.
Browns lose. I'm not watching football the rest of the day. You know, like Sunday night football off the table. 4:00 games, forget about it. And then maybe Monday Night Football I watch, but I'm typically working on Monday night anyway, so I don't get to watch those either. So I'm riding. I mean, like I said, I was kind of with you, understand it, but at the same time, I'm still with you with this take because, like, I understand your emotion. Your emotions are valid. I mean, if you want to control them, however you want to control them, and like, I mean, I don't know her side of the story or whatever, but this is just my take. You know, and like Jen deals with the same thing, and I tell her it's like, I just better hope the Browns win. I mean, that's all I gotta say. Better hope the Browns win.
You're gonna fuck me so hard on this.
Because I mean, like, what are we supposed to do?
Pause.
You
Yeah,
get
big
one
pause.
day, right? One day for us men during football season, one day of the week, right? And us guys have to deal with the whole week every month.
No, we're going down a road. We can't go down
All
this
right.
road. Can't go. We can't do this.
That's the argument
This
you
is
lead
gonna
off
make
with,
it.
Bobby.
You're making it way worse. No.
D-Lo is
That's
straight
the
gangster
argument you go
tonight
with.
it.
All right.
It's
Look, I
because
deal
his
with it
girl doesn't
every
listen.
month
He knows
for a
his girl
whole
don't
week.
listen to the pod. My girl does listen to the pod, so he can say whatever the fuck he wants. It's a whole different ball game here. But we can't go into the fucking men
You tell her
versus
that.
women
You just,
battle.
hey,
You're looking
you
at the
got to deal
married
with it
one
for
here,
football
like,
season. One
bro,
day a week.
no.
All right. I got a whole week every month. That's your cross examination right there.
Again, that's Dylan's thing. So I just want to make that
The thoughts and opinions of Mr. Dylan on the Talking Show
are
podcast.
not
The Talking
shared
Show
by the
podcast
other two hosts.
don't necessarily represent the thoughts and opinions of the other two.
Just tell Tori bring some flowers and chocolate if the Browns lose. Okay.
Okay, that we're gonna be into that.
That'll make you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Ease the
Sure.
pain.
Okay.
Have fun with that.
Moving on though. Gotta move on. Holy moly, Dylan. I don't know. You watched some fucking Andrew Tate videos before you got on here or something? What happened? She needs to come home and rub my feet.
Only if the
make
Browns
me a
lose.
sandwich. It's like, what, bro?
I know I just said bring some fucking flowers and chocolate. Fuck. Yeah. What fun would this podcast be if we always agreed on everything?
Sure. Or yeah. Well, we did.
Just we didn't agree with you,
Yeah, we
Dylan.
did.
25 minutes ago.
It was 2 against 1, bro.
Yeah.
Someone has to be the heel.
But I got my oil change this week. And for the first time ever, I went through one of the 15-minute joints. And after I got done with all that, the 15-minute oil change joints, those are the wave, man. And I didn't know that.
The ones that you stay in your car?
Yeah. And you're in and out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Instead of going, I was going to the fuck was I going? I don't know, just your regular ass garage or some shit where you're in there for like fucking hour and a half waiting for these guys. And of course, they'll come and tell you the 8,000 things that are going on in your truck and all this shit. And plus, it was way cheaper here. They filled up the fluids in all my trucks, filled up, checked the air in my tires, make sure everything was even there, and told me that after I leave, if I ever need to come back and get my windshield washer fluid, any of my fluids topped off, just swing back through, say you need topped off, which is kind of wild to say to a mechanic, but say you need to get topped off, and they'll top off the fluids for free of charge, which is crazy. I mean, I paid, I don't know, like $60-ish because I'd take 6 quarts of oil in my truck, and I got the synthetic. And I mean, that's like $25 cheaper than when I go to this other place, and you can't roll through it. You can't get topped off everywhere. So, but I don't know if all the 15-minute places are like that, but it was just dope to be in and out. Didn't have to wait around for, like I said, usually when I'd go, it'd be at least an hour. They just drag their fucking feet. And I was in and out. And it's just cool that if I notice that I'm low on some kind of fluid, I can go for free back to these guys for the next, I don't know, 6 months or whatever, and get topped off. You know what I mean? I don't like getting topped off.
I'm impressed
because I ain't
with the
getting
amount
topped
of
off
times you said
after
topped
Tori
off.
hears this last fucking segment. That's all I know. So I won't be getting topped off for a long time here at the house, thanks to Dylan. But so I got to go to the 15-minute oil change joint, talk to my guy Paco, and he's gonna fucking top your boy. So
My experience is it's never been 15 minutes. Anytime I go to places like that, it always winds up being way longer than it actually should.
really?
And I went to the one, it's called Take 5 or something like that. I don't know if y'all have them
Yeah,
up
we
there.
got some of those.
Yeah. Where you stay in your car. So the last time I got my oil change, which I actually do need to go back and get that done again, it took like 35, 40 minutes. Literally.
That's crazy.
That's how long it took.
Yeah. It was
You just chilling
legit.
in your
Like,
car the
probably
whole time?
15 minutes.
Yeah, I was in my car the whole time.
That's what I did. Yep. There's a dude underneath changing the oil and the filter and shit, and the guys up top were checking, the belts and the tires and filling me up.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what it is. Yeah, Dylan, you know what it is, baby. But
It's
yeah,
changed.
man, it was.
It's changed a lot. It didn't used to be that way. And if you go to the dealership these days, that's going to be 2 hours. If you take a car to a dealership,
Yeah, right. And that's going to be where I go from now on. I mean, I've always knew they existed, but I don't know. It's just all I knew. I just went to that same place. I think that's just because my family just always went to that place for whatever. So just get your oil change there, whatever. But man, just to save you time and money, gotta roll with that.
Just go there after a Browns loss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
like you said, all you gotta roll. That's all you gotta say. Roll up, wave them down, Paco, top me off, baby. And then
it's like, did the Browns lose again? I don't want to talk about it. Listening to the post game while you get your oil changed.
Asking Paco to top you
when
off.
I get kicked out of the house, I know I can count on the 15-minute joint, man. Get me right. Trying to follow fucking Dylan Tate's fucking words of advice. Get me kicked out of my house.
About to get swatted.
Yeah. When she gets home, tell her it's her fucking fault they lost.
Yes.
Dylan was over there talking like he's got 6 wives and shit.
Yeah, he's gonna light a cigar and shit. Go shirtless.
You know what I told number 3? She need to get out of my face. I'm trying to watch football.
That's Wednesday. She goes by Wednesday.
There we go, baby. Wild. We'll see. We got a big game tomorrow, Dylan. We'll see how another 4:00 game too at that, which sucks.
I like those.
Hopefully.
Here's the thing I don't understand. How are you going to pay Deshaun Watson the ridiculous amount of money that you have paid him, and he's played what, 6 games, 7 games over the course of 2 years? Like, that man is getting over on that team more than any other player in the NFL right now. He is literally bending them over.
I agree with that. I'm not happy with it. I mean, hindsight's 2020. I regret the trade, but at the time, like, you based it off of his 2020 season. He threw for almost 5,000 yards, and he was incredible on a team that went 4-12. I mean, he's got a whole thing about getting jerked off, which whatever. It's kind of odd thing. I mean, you're Deshaun Watson. I think you get way more than jerked off. And speaking of, that's another thing that won't be getting. That won't happen here anymore. Thanks to Dylan. To go back to that, but yeah, it sucks. I mean, he kind of has always been a little bit of injury prone, but I mean, you've seen what he could flash in Houston, and that's kind of what we hoped we could get, because that's just something we've never gotten in Cleveland. But I mean, yeah, hindsight's 2020, and even though Baker wasn't the guy, having him with the defense they have now, it'd be a little bit of a different story. But what can you
then
do?
to have PJ Walker as your back, like, why? Why? He has very teeny tiny moments of greatness, and the rest of it, you wonder why he's in the NFL. He makes mistakes that I wouldn't make on the field. And
he's 2-1. We went 2-1. Our defense probably went 2-1. But hey,
defense, exactly.
Hey, I'm
one
just
of those
saying,
wins was because San Fran missed a last second kick.
We were in that
and the
game.
Other two,
we
and
no
the one game was
being
because
in that game.
Myles Garrett had maybe the best game of his life, blocking fucking field goals, getting sacks, fumbles. He put the team on his back. I mean, PJ Walker sucks. He's right. So
he sucks. He's
terrible.
So bad. He's so bad.
But we had the setup earlier in the preseason. We had him, Dobbs, and then we had DTR. DTR outplayed Dobbs at the time, so we thought he was expendable. And I mean, obviously it'd be nice to have Dobbs again. Obviously he looked like shit on Monday, but because that's just what he is. He's a career backup, so you can't really count on him to have a full year's worth of good games. But he's better than PJ Walker. I think they expected to have just Deshaun Watson back to 100%, but he got fucking smacked around, in Tennessee, and then try to come back a week and a half later, 2 weeks later against Indy and fucked himself even worse. And then waited around 3 more weeks after that and just completely ripped his shoulder apart. And now we got to wait and see. But we're stuck with him for 3 more years.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now we got to see what we got.
And y'all are paying him guaranteed money too.
Yep.
Guaranteed money. I hate to get on this bandwagon, but I look at the dude on social media every day because he's all over social media, and I really feel like the end of his career went a whole lot worse than it should have. Cam Newton, you can't tell me that PJ Walker is better than Cam Newton. You can't. You can't tell me that a lot of these NFL quarterbacks, these backup quarterbacks that are having to play because these main quarterbacks are getting injured, you can't tell me that these guys are better than Cam Newton. If Cam Newton started a season in training camp, learned the material, learned the plays and everything, had an opportunity to vibe with the wideouts, had an opportunity to vibe with the O-line, like, you can't tell me that PJ Walker is doing better for you guys than Cam Newton could have done if y'all had started with him at the beginning of the season as a backup for Deshaun. You can't tell me that.
Could be the case, but he would be also wanting a lot more money than PJ's making. And
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think from the stuff that I've seen from Cam Newton, I think he wants to play that bad. I don't think he cares about the money. I think he wants to he wants to play. There was a period of time before he had got that job to come back with us, when he got that brief job at New England. I was following him on social media, and he stayed ready. All he was ever posting was videos of him working out and working. Now, granted, it could have been the only 30 seconds he was working out at all, that day, because appearances is everything. But it appeared like the work ethic was there, and that he really wanted to play. And I really hate that he kind of did the way that he did towards the rear end of his career, because that man's MVP season, you couldn't touch him. Couldn't touch him.
Yeah,
there was no
never
quarterback.
The same, though. Never the same after that car accident in Carolina. After he fractured his back, and then he had some shoulder
took a lot of
issues.
hits too. And like you said, he did go through a full offseason with New England and played most of that year, and he was pretty fucking bad. But
that system, though,
he would be better than PJ Walker. But I mean, what's that really say? I mean, that's not saying a whole lot. But I mean, that's why they got Joe Flacco starting tomorrow, which is fucking nuts to say. Joe Flacco starting for the Cleveland Browns,
right?
What, 18-3, 18-2 against us. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know why it took them so long to make something happen. I mean, I think they did try to make some moves at the trade deadline, but Washington wanted too much for Jacoby Brissett. And I'm sure they did that on purpose, because why would the fuck would they want to help us out? I think everyone's still mad at Cleveland because they knocked the quarterback market into a crazy space, So
Yeah.
all these guys, I mean, he's getting 230. I think what Joe Burrow got at 250 maybe or something around there. So it's just going to keep rolling
Didn't
up.
Mahomes just resign to something ridiculous?
Deshaun Watson's not even in the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks anymore after all like Hurts and all them. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Hurts deserves every freaking dollar. Every dollar that man gets, he freaking deserves it. He's a freaking stud out there.
He could be the next Cam, man. If he keeps because he takes kind of a lot of shots too. But he's the real deal. But yeah, I mean to kind of tie the ends to this. I mean, the Browns just thought they were getting an elite quarterback, and he wasn't elite. Probably a top 5 guy that last year in Houston before all hell broke loose. But yeah, he's just gotten tore up this year, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. I mean, that's just throwing shoulder that's getting worked on. So we may never get Houston, quote unquote, Deshaun Watson, but they're gonna ride it out, for the next 3 years, and then go from there. I mean, shit, we still got one more year till we got a first round pick done, right?
I believe so. Yeah, we won't have him in 2024.
So, and then Houston. I mean, you see, Houston took that first rounder from us and fucking traded up, I think, to get CJ Stroud. And I mean, look at them now. They're supposed to be in a rebuilding year, and they're competing for their division, which is nuts.
Bro, I'm
you
so
said you're
mad
a
we
Panthers
picked up
fan, so,
Bryce Young instead of CJ Stroud.
I mean, the owner basically came out. Somebody from over there said they wanted CJ Stroud, but there was a whole debate on that, and they went with.
Oh, really?
I think the owner maybe wanted Bryce Young, but the coach,
Bryce Young he's a good kid, but it's going to take a while for him to adjust to the speed of the league. You can tell he can't handle it, because they say it's like 10 times faster. It's like
sure,
everybody on the field can run a sub 540,
and he's just a small dude, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's probably a lot. And yeah, CJ Stroud is. I mean, he's definitely gonna win the Rookie of the Year. But fuck, man, he might end up garnering some MVP votes by the end of the year. Dylan, I mean, for us to go back to Browns, I mean that game at the beginning of the year was almost an auto win, and now I mean that's gonna be one of the tougher games to finish out the season.
They thought Broncos were gonna be an auto win when they started,
because they're the fucking real ass deal. So that's gonna be a huge game. But let's get into we got a pretty jam packed mill. Let's jump in, man, and get into some of these topics. There it is.
Phone, the other hand here. We got a jam-packed, as you said, around the mill for 160. We're going to start it off with the big news coming from Rockstar. On Tuesday, the 5th of December, Rockstar announced that they're going to release their the official GTA 6 trailer.
Trailer 1.
I know.
So it sounds like there's going to be multiple coming. So trailer 1's coming on the 5th.
Interesting.
Yep.
I've never like known of a game where it has multiple trailers sequenced like that. But from my understanding, from like the leaks and stuff, this game's going to be massive. It's like usually you're just dealing with like one city, Los Santos, and all that kind of shit. You have like your outdoor rural areas and stuff, but this is supposed to like combine 3 different cities, like major cities. So like the open world is going to be mind blowing, which I mean could bottleneck the servers. I mean, is it going to be? I mean, they've had plenty of time to work on this stuff and iron out the details. And Rockstar is not known to drop the ball when it comes to the quality of games that they produce. But I mean, I have full faith in that front. But looking forward to seeing what this the official trailer looks like. Does it dispel any kind of like myths or leaks that came out prior, or is it going to like kind of is it really going to show anything? I guess I should say, is it going to be able to like get a feel for what the game is going to be? Are you guys going to get the game? Are you excited for the game? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
You know my thoughts, dude. We've been talking about it on this show for years now. I mean, we've been waiting for it. Like we've said numerous times. GTA 5 came out in 2000, I think 13. So I mean, we're going on, or no, I think 2012, if I remember right. So we're going on 11 years in between games. That's the longest gap between a GTA game. And I have a feeling that when the trailer comes out, we'll probably see like a 25, maybe even a 26 release date. I hope I'm wrong and that it's maybe like a mid to late 24 drop. That'd be awesome. But I've never played a bad Grand Theft Auto, so I just know for this next gen version they're going to come out with a banger, and I'm excited to see what it is because it's one of those things where the story modes will usually be shit, 20, 30 hours of gameplay, and then on top of that, one of the best parts about it is the open world where you can go fuck around and shoot up a block or go rack up the stars and go and get into a big police chase or whatever, man, do side missions and get all the cool cars and shit. And it's just the gameplay and possibilities in that game are endless. So I'm excited and I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see this trailer.
Oh, y'all talking about it makes me want to freaking get it. I had one. God, I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was 5. No, it wasn't 5. I can't remember. When I first got my Xbox One, Grand Theft Auto was one of the first games that I had, but I didn't have a whole
Probably
lot of
was 5,
storage.
man. Like I said, it's been out for 12 years.
But yeah, it may have been 5. I
Yeah.
think. I didn't play it much. I really didn't. I'm a 2K guy. I play 2K like crazy. That's really the only game that I play. I had the Division, that shooter game. I had that, and I played that for a little bit, and then I got to a point where I'm not very good at shooter games, so I got to a point where I couldn't get any further than where I was, and I just gave up because it's like I can't get past this guy. This guy kills me every time. So yeah, now y'all make me want to get it. I think I'm gonna get it now. That'll be the first game that I bought like brand new.
The hype's gonna be through the roof. But Rockstar is one of those companies that they usually will meet expectations, which is pretty rare anymore, and especially with video games where everyone's just kind of like a 2K or Madden, where you're just buying an $80, $70 roster update, and that's basically what it is anymore. Or like Call of Duties and stuff, where you just got new maps, and that's really about it. But they've had 12 years to perfect this thing, and I'm sure the graphics and just the engine and shit is going to be super clean. So, yeah, I'm going to be, waiting with bated breath for this trailer to drop on Tuesday.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like I said, Rockstar makes great games. Red Dead Redemption. I mean, all the GTA series. I mean, I'm looking forward to it as well. Moving forward, Robbie, you brought to my attention, Subway. They kind of been put on the back burner. I mean, I used to have Subway all the time. Like they kind of digressed over the years, but you can't go wrong with the nice little chicken bacon ranch with a little bit of Southwest on there, or it's Chipotle. I forgot what they call it, and they got the Italian herbs, and you got to go lightly toasted on the bread. All right, ladies and gentlemen, lightly toasted. Okay, if you get fully toasted, then the ends become unedible. It's just fucking concrete on the ends. So lightly toasted. That's a D-Lo hack there for you. So, and they will do that for you about half the time. So, but they have a new foot long, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be of the cookie variety. So, with further ado, we have Subway's adding a foot-long cookie to its menu, and you can try it for free right here. It's going to be a nice cookie, foot-long. I don't even know what the price would be on these things. Obviously, you'd try it for free, but on National Cookie Day.
I'll tell you what, you say what you want to say about Subway as a whole. The cookies have always fucking banged, okay? Their cookies rule.
Are they as good as the Pizza Hut cookie?
Better.
Whoa!
Pizza Hut. I haven't had a
Breaking
Pizza Hut
news
cookie in
here
forever.
on TSP.
Well, you got to remember, Dylan, when we were smacking them Pizza Hut cookies, we were very much on performance-enhancing drugs at the time.
Yeah, I was stoned as
PEDs, so
fuck.
that was
Anything.
going to change. You know what I mean?
Anything.
They could have gave us a pile of shit, and we would have been like, "Holy fuck, this is incredible."
These things look like dog bones. You know, like the little dog bones, dog treats you can give dogs.
Yeah,
That's
milk,
what that looks
milk
like
bones.
to me.
Yeah, yep.
The real question is, I just see chocolate chip here. Are they going to have their macadamia nuts or strawberry cheesecake
You're gonna
version
see,
varieties?
you know, because some guys they'll have they'll send us the Snapchats with the remote next to their fucking shit. No, now we're gonna see a fucking dick pic with next to a Subway cookie to show you the
That's an advertisement right there.
Oh shit!
That is a good idea.
Yeah, I got you a foot long, baby. But no, I seen that on that Instagram account, Marky. It's either Devo or Devo. That our guy, the snack god Remy from TikTok, who we had on a few weeks ago, put us on. That dude on there, he's always giving out. I don't know where he's got these sources and shit at, but he's just dropping all the new snacks and all that shit, all the 2000 snacks. You know, shout out to Baby D. I seen that on there, and that was interesting. So I like
snacks.
I like yeah, I like the cookies there, and fuck, dude, I fuck with Subway, man. You know what I mean? I know they kind of took a hit, 'cause the whole tuna fish thing, which I totally get. Haven't got a tuna sub since. That used to be one of my favorite ones, but
wait, what happened? Did I miss something?
Some company ran a test on their like tuna fish or whatever, and it came out that they didn't actually have any tuna in it.
They were sardines. Was it a fish at all?
I don't remember. I just remember they said that there was no actual tuna in it, but
let me find out. I was eating anchovies.
Subway came out and argued it, but I mean they were getting hit with that shit around the same time that whole Jared fiasco came out, so that Subway was just getting smacked left and right. But they like in the last couple of years they've kind of turned some shit around. They got a whole kind of new menu of subs and shit, and plus I mean I'm getting coupons. You like BOGO subs and shit. So it's just like these days, you know, if you can get fucking 2 foot long subs for $9, $10, shit, you gotta make it do, man. Especially with the prices of shit. But we'll see, man. Foot long cookie. I'm gonna let it ride unless it's like a fucking $5 fucking thing. Then I'll tell them to fuck off. But where does it say? Because you said it's free.
Yeah, I was looking into it while you were talking there. National Cookie Day is on December 4th. That'd be Monday. Now, as I was looking, it looks like it's only going to be free because they're going to turn 4 lucky Subways into Cookie Way there for their customers between 1 to 6 p.m. In Chicago, Illinois. There's a location. Dallas, Texas. There's a location. Miami Beach, Florida. In New York City, of course, because they get everything right there.
Nobody going to fucking Subway in Miami.
No, definitely Jersey Mike's, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but fuck it. The rest of us peasants will have to pay. So those are the only 4 locations there that are getting the free cookie.
We'll see. You know what I mean?
Jersey Mike sounds good right now.
It does, doesn't it? They have a fantastic, I think it was a Chipotle style cheesesteak, and it was phenomenal. It was to die for.
I found out, speaking of sandwich places, I found out via TikTok, of course, that you can go to Jimmy John's and buy like their day old bread for 50 cents. And I need to try that sometime because Jimmy John's bread is fucking fire.
Oh yeah, that's the thing I love about their sandwiches the most is the bread. You know what? I thought I heard your cat earlier, and I was gonna say something, but I just kept my mouth
he is always chill, but as soon as the fucking red light comes on for me to do this shit, he starts fucking tripping out, dickhead. And he's probably heard all the shit Dylan was saying earlier, so he's probably fucking defending.
She's gonna get you right as he's walking by.
Yeah, this is the only pussy you'll see here. Yeah. Enjoy.
Shit. Going on.
What else we got?
through the topics. All right, it's the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen, and as we all know, we know in what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck it, don't know the word. Escape my mind.
Okay.
But we all devour. Maybe that was the word I was looking for. Devour into podcast music of any variety throughout the year, whether it's Spotify or Apple. But they both give you a nice little data system at the end. And for Spotify, it's called Spotify Wrapped. I think what you said, Apple Review is what they do.
Replay.
Apple Replay, kind of like looking back at everything you listen to. They control all that data there. And it's kind of actually pretty cool, whether you're into privacy or not, whatever. But cool looking back at what, like, you know, what you listen to, how long you listen to things. Where does it rank as far as like your percentage of fandom amongst other listeners who listen to the same stuff? Regardless, they have a new thing for Spotify and podcasters. We can actually look at the data, and now we've just started this season up again. We haven't done anything all year up until what I think early September. So we only got like 8 episodes in our belt for 2023, but small sample size, very small sample size. Next year will be more interesting with more data, but it was also very humbling and also a great experience to look at these numbers and the ones that we posted on our social medias. If you want to follow us at TSP_2019, we posted these and thanked you, the fans and listeners around the world for TSP who tune in each week. And, we're in the top 10 for 15 of our listeners for the podcast, top 5 for 12 of you out there. And for 3 awesome listeners out there, we were the number 1 podcast that you listened to for 2023, even though we're only 8 episodes in. We definitely appreciate you, and it's actually really awesome to see those kind of numbers with only 8 episodes for the last awesome. 3 months of the year.
That's awesome.
100%, dude. It was really cool to see that. We've been back for 4 months, and we only do one thing a week, so I think the support since we've been back has been, awesome, and it was very humbling to see. So it just feels good that we got some people out there that really dig what we're doing, and it's also like I've tweeted out. I mean, there's millions and millions of podcasts out there, and there's
a lot,
a list of people that choose our show over that, which is really cool. I mean, there's some fucking heavy hitters out there that, for a few people that we're in front of. So
I learned how many podcasts were out there. Actually, I'll hold off on that until later. I'll hold off on that.
But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, Bobby, there's millions of podcasts out there, and even to be like in the top like 10 of some of these people, like who are like listening to like, people with substance. We're just peons out here. We don't have any like careers of any like history to talk about. Like, usually like people who already have a successful podcast usually come from a background of already having success, whether it's like being a celebrity and like, I don't know, have like cool stories that people want to listen to and all that kind of stuff. Already had that fandom built up where it transfers already to listeners immediately from episode 1. We've built this from like the ground up, and our saying here is always brick by brick, and that's definitely no lie since 2019 that we built that up, and to be in top 10s for 15 people. I mean, that's fucking awesome, and like I said, a humbling experience. So it's kind of cool.
Absolutely, and I'm an Apple dude, and I always will be. I have just too much music in my library to switch over. I'm not really. I mean, Dylan, you have an iPhone, but you are on Spotify. What is because I've never really noticed a big difference between the two. I have the Spotify app because there are some shit like I'll listen to some of Joe Rogan's guy, like, depending on who's on. He just had The Rock on, so I was listening to that. So I have Spotify just for some of their exclusives. But what are some of the major, I guess, differences to where you chose Spotify over Apple?
I don't know if there's like really major. I like the interface. It's probably like the same thing as far as like Xbox and PlayStation. Like they do the same thing, but it's more of like a format issue, or like people who'd have Android and iPhone kind of thing. Like what you're more comfortable with. They both do the same thing, but I'm sure there's like subtle differences and trademarks that they each have of their own. Like, I mean, I know for Spotify, they have like video, like our video podcasts are on Spotify. Like Joe Rogan's video, you can watch his video on Spotify. You can't do it on Apple. But other than that, I kind of like how, and I'm sure Apple does the same thing, but it's more of like a format thing where it's like I like how Spotify lays out all like the music and podcast audiobooks and like how they categorize everything. If you go to search for something, I think Spotify sets it up almost easier to kind of like find new artists, because as we get into our own personal little wrapped or reviews or replays, my top two artists are artists that I discovered this year, and they were just put on repeat. So I like how Spotify sets that up as far as like made for you. They'll like take what you listen to and they'll categorize each genre or type of music and find all these different kinds of bands that are similar to that same one that you kind of put on replay or repeat. And they'll make a whole fucking playlist and make it say like made for you. Mm-hmm. And then you can just kind of go through that and find new artists just based off that. So
Apple has that too.
Right. I'm sure they did. Yeah.
They just rolled out. But one thing I will say, because I'm gonna rock with Apple, through this whole time. But I will say that Apple doesn't show you the podcast side, which I think is kind of whack. Because I listen to Apple Podcasts, and I mean I've only listened to maybe like 7,000 minutes of music this year. So I listen to way more podcasts than music. So I wish that the little replay on the Apple side would show the podcasts, as far as who I'm listening to most and my minutes on that side, because it'd probably quadruple or even whatever, even more. So the music, because like I'm looking at my top 5 artists right now. Drake's my top with 1,000 minutes. So I mean that's not really in a whole span of a year. That's not anything too crazy. So I'm just way more of a podcast guy. But the Spotify Wrapped, I noticed you get both of those, which is cool. So I wish, hopefully, Apple will wake up in the future to give both on there, because I'd like to see.
Why? Why would they need to?
Why not?
Well, they're already getting all the money they want to get, man. Like they're not reinventing the wheel. As much as I would like them to do a whole bunch of different things, I don't know.
Well, they didn't even do the replay until recent anyway, because Spotify has been doing the Unwrapped for years, and we didn't have shit until 2-3 years ago. So, I mean, if you're going to follow suit there, might as well
and
do
I'm
the
sure
whole
they were just like, they want to replay. Okay, whatever. We'll give it to them. It's like, whatever.
It's a trendy thing this year, so they probably saw that it was like everyone's sharing their Wrapped, and like it makes topic of discussion, and then Spotify is always like the topic of discussion through like at least a couple weeks towards the end of the year. So we're getting that attention.
My thing is, why did it take them so long to jump on the bandwagon? Like everybody at the end of every year, everybody recaps their favorite songs of the year, their favorite everything of the year. So it's been done forever. Why is it taking them so long to jump on that bandwagon?
Yeah, I agree. And I used to like hate, because I mean everyone does it for that 1 week. I mean your Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, Twitter, etc. is just flooded with all that shit. And for a while, I'd be like, man, that's just fucking stupid. But now I don't know. This year it was just kind of neat to see everyone's shit. It's cool to kind of see. I saw some friends that had like Drake, Taylor Swift, and Zach Bryan, and just it was a whole smorgasbord of artists on there. Or you got somebody like me, like I told you, Drake was my top. I had like ESTG, Future. Like I'm the rap guy. I had Jack Harlow, I think, rounded up top 5, maybe Kanye. And it was, I don't know, it's just interesting to see. And and with Spotify and Rap, just seeing people's, because this year especially I was seeing some of the podcast lists, and I kind of cherry picked a few just to check them out, because I'm always looking for shit, because I'm a driver, so 10 hours of my day I'm in a truck. So if I can listen to some new shit, because I'm always looking for something to change it up a little bit. I get into these weird. I was just like one of the basic white gals for a while. Like I got into the murder podcast for a little bit, then I found myself, I'm like, man, this shit it gets kind of depressing, especially when the unsolved ones. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna veer back into like some comedy shit, sports, wrestling. This is our shit, obviously. So,
Who was your
but I like
top
to change
five?
it up from time to time. I don't know.
Not for podcasts, but for music. That the one that they did give you for.
Top 5 like artists.
Yeah, sure. Your
I
top
just
5
had it
artists. I'm
pulled up.
assuming your top 5 music's going to be from those artists. So you might as well just do artists.
I think I had it verbatim. Let me see. I just had it pulled up. It
And how
was
did
I
it
got
compare from like last
Drake,
year's?
Future, ESTG, Kanye, and Jack Harlow are my top 5.
Did that stay
So, I mean,
similar from last year?
I would say, probably. ESTG probably got a little more play this year than last year, but Drake and Future's they're probably usually up there. I'm kind of surprised by Kanye. But I'm guessing that's a lot more of his older shit. There's no way. 'Cause I definitely don't touch any of his newer shit.
Did he release an album this year, or was that late last year? I don't
I
remember.
think it was last year. I think it was 22. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it, like 6 through 10s, Ace Hood, Kendrick Lamar, our guy, Hollywood Sav, shout out, J. Cole, Post Malone. Yeah.
That's probably like that would like be my top 5 back in my like Lunitas Lane era of D-Lo. And as you said, it's like I stopped listening to like rap for like I don't know, like it just doesn't like hit the same for me right now, at least in this particular time in life. But I'm like a metalcore whore now. Like I listen to a lot of fucking metalcore. When I'm hit the gym, I'm listening to music. But like you, Bobby, I'm listening to a lot more sports talk radio on the Odyssey app, or I'm listening to like just podcasts in general. So the main time I'm listening to music is when I'm lifting weights and needing the metalcore going through my veins to get that extra rep in or whatever. But the top 5 for me are probably some of the bands you never even heard of before for the top 3. First one, number 1 was Caskets. It was a band I discovered this year and kind of like played on repeat in the gym. And they have a lot of good bangers. Polaris is another band. They're from Australia. Great metalcore band. Dayseeker is another band that I discovered in 2023. More of like sappy metalcore because they write more of like sadder songs, but they're not like what you would think when I say sappy. Like you're thinking like, sad, whatever. But I don't know. It obviously is in the genre of metalcore. So take that for what you are or for what you will. And the top 2 or the bottom 2, 4 and 5 is more notable names. Bring Me the Horizon. They're a classic metalcore band. And Tool is number 5.
That is the only one I've ever heard of is Tool.
Ain't none of them bringing the mac and cheese is what it sounds like to me.
Probably not. No, I don't think so. None of the mac and cheese. But
that's cool. I've heard of Tool, and I think I've heard of Bring Me the Horizon, but definitely the rest.
Have,
but that's the thing. I mean, everyone's got different shit, so that's the cool thing about music, man.
What were you listening to this year, Terrell?
So I can't look mine up because I'm on my phone. But I traditionally listen to a lot of R&B. I do listen to some rap every once in a while, but my playlist wind up being a lot of R&B, and it's R&B from the 80s all the way up until now. I listen to all of it. I know I went through my replay playlist, so I let the playlist play. But I didn't like look at any stats or anything like that. But there was a lot of Tank, which is one of my favorite R&B artists. There was a lot of Tank stuff. There was a lot of TGT when Tank, Tyrese, and Genuine did the group together. Some Keith Sweat, then some Lucky Day. As far as one of the newer artists, her, Chris Brown, a lot of Chris Brown. But yeah, it's mostly R&B for me. I'm a big R&B head.
I like some Tank, man.
Oh yeah.
Joke is getting deeper and faster. Wow, you know that one, man.
Face down, hey son.
It's a great song. It's pretty wild, but it's a good song. I like it.
Oh yeah. Now I've seen him live probably 3 or 4 times. Couple times on like purpose, and then the other times he was just on shows that I wanted to see a whole bunch of other people. He was on, and I'm gonna say this really quick. He was on Fantasia's tour. Me and my wife were talking about this not too long ago. We went back in 2019, December 2019, and when I tell you Fantasia, you remember Fantasia from American Idol?
American Idol. Yep.
Yeah, she went on stage and tore it down. She was fucking amazing. She is a beast on stage. She didn't miss a note, bro. She didn't miss not once. And I was thoroughly impressed. But he was on the show. It was him, Robin Thicke, Fantasia, and some other chick. I can't remember what her name was. Robin Thicke actually did pretty good too.
Yeah, he was the man for a while. But didn't he like cancel for some shit, like cheating?
Well, he did cheat on Paula Patton. Yeah, he did cheat on his wife.
And I
but
know
he cheated
got, like,
on her.
Sued,
Well, yeah, him and Pharrell because Blurred Lines was a takeoff of "Got to Give It Up" by Marvin Gaye, which I don't think Pharrell meant to do it. It just kind of came out that way, but it was close enough to where, of course, Marvin Gaye's family sued, and I think they settled out of court or they won or something like that. But yeah, R&B head here.
Hey man, I dig it, man. I
I
used
don't
to be
hate that
strictly
stuff.
like
It's-
rap dude, but I kind of spread out in the last probably 5-6 years. So if it's good,
really
man, I'm
just-
rocking with it.
Just depends on what I'm doing. You know, sometimes like when I'm doing yard work, more country comes out of me. I'm not a country guy by any means.
All right, well, Dylan, let me ask you this: when it's not Sunday and you didn't watch football and you aren't pissed off after a game, and you trying to warm the lady up,
Oh yeah,
what you gonna put on?
Oh, he'll sing his own. I mean, Dio's got some pipes. Pause. But he'll sing his own medley of shit to get it going.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
hey, a varsity choir. I mean, I wore the robe 4 years straight in high
choir,
school.
though. You said choir.
And you missed
you could
it, 'cause
be,
he's
you could be a choir
he
singer, not a soloist. Come on now.
He did a remake to Justin Bieber's what's Boyfriend, right?
Yeah, I did.
He's got a remix of that. So
That was like freshman year.
D-Lo does some
Thanks.
things, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was co-writer. Our buddy Charlie, he was also in the lab with me on that one. And we rewrote Boyfriend, and we renamed it Douchebags. So basically, everything that you wouldn't want in a boyfriend. It was like a Weird Al twist, if you will, on the song. Yeah. So
but
it was pretty good for what we were worth. Huh?
I said you're singing on there though, so yeah, he's gonna be singing the national anthem at the Turkey Fry this year. So
we're opening it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't let the pipes out in a long time, you know. So I have to it's like a car, you know. You got to let the pistons open up a little bit, clear it out. So
that sounded very dirty.
But I guess since you don't sing, do you like he's asking? Do you have a specific song or playlist for mood setting?
Usually I just type in Spotify sloppy sex and see what pops up. But
no.
I just type in "blow her back out."
Correct.
I just type in "beat it up."
Yeah. No, I like The Weeknd. The Weeknd for sure is a go-to. Yeah. I actually saw him with the lady in Detroit on his big tour that he went on, and it's phenomenal. He's quite the performer. It sounds just like his fucking records. I mean, he's great. He's really great, and it was kind of surreal watching like a celebrity of his stature in real life. I've been to concerts before, but I mean, his was His was definitely up there. It was like watching a movie. So the
I'm
weekend.
trying.
I follow.
Drake and J. Cole are going on tour. They're coming to Cleveland, I think the week before or a week after my birthday. I'm desperately trying to go to that. I've seen J. Cole in concert, never seen Drake, so I'm trying to make that happen, man.
We have a
Hopefully we can.
festival here in Raleigh called Dreamville
Yeah.
that J. Cole
Yep.
started, and Drake headlined it. Well, Drake and Usher headlined it this year, which was nuts. And that was such a big thing for Raleigh, man. It was such a big thing for North Carolina, just in general. It was kind of cool to watch it. I watched a little bit of it on TV because they streamed it on TV. I didn't go because I'm like really weird about being in big crowds like that.
Sure.
Like I don't feel comfortable.
I feel that.
Yeah.
It's hit and miss for me. I mean, I went to a Vans Warped Tour back when they used to have those massive crowds, and they have multiple stages and just different bands going on at same times and stuff. But, I mean, definitely anxiety central was going through the roof. But
yeah,
I definitely, I can relate for sure where you're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, at least for me, because Drake's at least right now, my all-time favorite rapper is Jay-Z, but Drake right now is my favorite rapper. And I know his concert, like he's got enough hits to put on like a 4-hour show where it's like every hit, every song is a banger, man. Where some of these places, like I fuck with J. Cole pretty big, but there's a couple songs I'm like, all right, let's get past these, and keep it rolling. But with Drake, dude, from start to finish, I know it's just gonna be great. So we'll see what happens with that. But
that's the thing about J. Cole. He hasn't even really had that much music, you know. It's
his
weird.
features this year have been nuts. We played one of them a while back. Hit that one song he did with Lil Yachty. That verse is it's one of my favorite ones that he's ever done for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what we got next, Dylan?
Yeah, absolutely. This next topic may be more for you, Bobby. I'm not sure how your fandom in wrestling is, Terrell, but a particular superstar has made his return after multiple years of absence, and the crowd went wild. If you ever liked watching WWE, they're definitely known for their crowd pops. And this one was like no other when the return of CM Punk made his way through with the past few days. It was probably over the weekend, wasn't it?
It was last Saturday night. Yep.
Last Saturday night.
Survivor Series in Chicago, where he's from. I should have probably had you pull up the video of the return because it is pretty cool. Maybe I'll have you do that while I'm talking about it. But CM Punk, he was with WWE 10 years ago. They kind of left on shitty terms. He just straight kind of walked out, and that was it. And he was out of wrestling for about 7 years. And then he made his return to All Elite Wrestling, which is basically kind of the new age kind of WCW as far as being like the second biggest wrestling organization going. And he made his return there in Chicago about a year and a half ago, and then actually kind of had a shitty falling out with All Elite Wrestling as well. So rumors started to swirl when he left there that he might be making his way back because Vince McMahon, he is still owner of WWE, but he doesn't do day-to-day operations. Triple H kind of took over those kind of things, and he's a little more open-minded to kind of shit like that. And people were starting to circle the date of Survivor Series because it took place in Chicago, where he lives, where he's from. And sure enough, man, this was at the end of Survivor Series, and the cool thing was that you can kind of see here they're already talking about the press conferences up next, and then soon they'll play the little logo that'll have like the copyright, whatever on there that kind of makes it feel like it's the very end of the show, and then bang, his music hits, dude, and this place goes fucking nuts. It's pretty cool. Go ahead, D'Lo. Pandemonium.
That's badass.
And like I said, it came at the very, very end of the show. Like there was some rumors and stuff that he might be coming back, but WWE was a smart move. They kind of dispelled those rumors through like the dirt sheets and shit, just kind of saying that they didn't. And then what ended up coming out was he signed a deal like that day. So it all kind of came together last minute because they had like a press conference, which they started doing after some of their big shows, which is kind of cool. And Triple H came out and just said like that basically that morning that they got a deal put together, and that like, everything was last second, and only like Triple H and like two other like high higher up people in the front office knew what was going on. So huge surprise, and it was very, very unexpected and just a cool moment because, like I said, he left 10 years ago on the shittiest of terms and has been so outspoken. I mean, he actually took WWE to court because of like some of their like medical team kind of I don't know. He had like I think he ended up getting like some kind of staph infection or something from like a back injury, and he took them to court. So like their ties were severed for a long time. But 10 years go by, and Triple H even said in the press conference like he's a different person, CM Punk's a different person, and at the end of the day, especially now that WWE combined with UFC to make that whole new conglomerate, like they're out to make as much money as they can, and bringing somebody like that. I mean, you've seen the reaction, so people are going to come pay the big bucks to see him wrestle, and WrestleMania is right around the corner, Royal Rumble, so they're trying to stack the deck. So pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, and the Royal Rumble always has like the surprise superstars popping out too. But I mean, I'm not a big WWE fan, but I applaud the fans that do go there, and like the crowd pops like no other at any sporting event. So moving forward, we're going to get to you, Terrell, because last time you were on here, okay, there was a slap at the Oscars that was heard around the world, and it could have hit rock bottom for Will Smith there. Because with that being said, you have a take there on good old Will Smith and Jada. So what was that take that you wanted to discuss here and bring it to the pod?
Well, I mean, you have to think about it this way. We had a glimpse of what was going on with Will and Jada back then.
Right.
And it was from the outside looking in. We weren't privy to a lot of the stuff that they had going on. Now, of course, they did, do the entanglement thing where they sat down and talked about that and all that. But you just didn't have that much of a glimpse into what they were going through. And number one, the main thing is that you thought that they were married at that time. And
he called her his wife.
Yeah. So you make all of your assumptions and your decisions based off of what you're presented with at the time. Now, with all the stuff that she's been saying between then and now, it changes the perspective of things to me completely. Now, I want to start by saying this, and this is going to be the part that if you take out this part, it's going to make what I'm about to say next even worse. But I don't condone any violence whatsoever. I still think he was wrong for what he did. I don't condone any kind of violence whatsoever, especially domestic violence. But that slap was not for Chris Rock. That slap was for Jada.
Interesting.
I think I said something along those lines. Maybe not like that. I guess exactly
that he wanted to.
But
he wanted to
had
slap
all that
the
built up
shit
frustration.
out of Jada.
Not long before that happened, we found out Jada had the entanglement, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, with what's that dude's name? He's an R&B singer,
August Alsina.
Yeah, who's like half her age, but that had just came out, which of course had to happen on Red Table Talk. So like we're watching. I mean, there's a meme of him now with the face that he's making while she's talking about basically fucking another dude in the house that they live together in. So I mean, yeah, I had said that was just like the thing that he was like a shaken up pop bottle, and that popped the cap off and everything flowed over. So,
but he wanted to direct that to her. He knew he couldn't slap the shit out of her on national television at the Oscars. He knew he couldn't slap her. So this guy, he's going to be my punching bag. But that man wanted to slap the shit out of her that night. And it's wrong to do that. Women can push you. I've been with women who are that manipulative, who will literally make you, who will just emasculate the word, where just make you feel like you are not a man. And like I said, it's never right to do that. But I can guarantee you, knowing all that we know now, based off of everything that she said and how she's been about things, that was meant for her. For
She's
sure
nuts.
that night. Do what?
So Jada's nuts. She's crazy.
Nuts. Absolutely.
Like
nuts.
I said a couple weeks ago on the pod, I was like, she lost more than her hair. You know, she lost her mind.
I don't know if she's ever had it. To be honest with you, I don't think she's ever had it, and I don't think she's ever really wanted to be with Will. I really don't. The way that woman acts about that man, I don't think she's ever really wanted him.
she said
I think it's
her
clear
and Tupac
who
are
she wanted.
soulmates. If Tupac didn't get shot and killed, they've been a wrap.
And Tupac really dodged the bullet on that one.
Yeah. It's Tupac. I mean, shit. Imagine Tupac in that spot. Chris Rock ain't getting a slap to the face, dude. He's catching 2 to the chest.
Yeah. So yeah,
but
it's unfortunate
about it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean,
it
like,
really is. That man, she has drugged that man through the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, he did all that. He got the 10-year ban. People don't really fuck with him anymore because of that. He's made somewhat of or he's trying to make like a comeback, but it's not the same, man. I see him on social media trying to go back to the, cookie cutter Mr. Nice Guy Will Smith that we thought, he was. But I mean, you can
see it now. You can see through the nice guy now.
Yeah.
Now that you've seen him go there, you still see it. That part of that man is not out of him. It's not. That wasn't a one-off. Oh, I messed up. I never do this. This is out of my character. We don't know what that man does behind closed doors. That man, who he showed at the Oscars that night, that's really Will Smith. That is the real Will Smith for sure.
Would you say that's the real Will Smith, or would you say that was just like, I mean, everyone has their breaking point. Doesn't that mean like your breaking point is who you really are?
I wouldn't say that, but that's not the first time that he's acted out like that, probably even in public. We just don't know.
Right.
And when you act like that, when you do things like that in that kind of a forum, you have to kind of subconsciously think you're untouchable and that I've done this before. I've done this around, at other places. I'm not going to get in trouble for this, because with somebody with all he has to lose, if he didn't have that mindset, he wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, it was weird. So weird when it happened.
Will Smith is at
fake.
one point in time is what The Rock is now. Like, The Rock's the most famous dude in the world. I mean, I think you can argue that. I mean, you can maybe argue somebody else, but for the most part, I think everyone would agree that that's where Will Smith was. And you got to put on this front like everything's peachy, 100% of the time, 24/7, and that's kind of where The Rock is. And I hope we don't ever see The Rock get in that kind of position, because Chris Rock's fucking head would roll off the stage if that was The Rock pulling up on him, smacking him in the face. But that's kind of where you see The Rock now. I mean, I don't hear anything, but we didn't hear anything about Will Smith for decades, and it just took one thing. Because obviously behind closed doors, we know a lot of his relationship with Jada and how shit was weird and rocky, and they just kind of put a front on, probably for their kids growing up and for the the cameras, because you'd see these guys at all these award shows and shit, and everyone thought that they were the greatest relationship. Everyone, I mean, I think it was J. Cole that said he wanted that Will and Jada love or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was him. He said that in the song. Yeah. So everyone wanted that kind of relationship, not knowing that their shit had been in shambles for 10 years, maybe even longer. Who knows how long that relationship was a genuine thing.
She said something at some event that she had about her book, that they were separated for 10 years or however long it was that she said that they were separated. But she said that they were separated up until Oscar night. Oscar night was, I guess, the time that she decided that I need to work on this. It's like, bitch, it's too late at this point. You have already ruined this man. Now, as I said before, I'm always going to stand by. He was wrong. You should never like act out like that. But it's too late, home girl. It's way too late. Like, why are you gonna try to stand up and be with him now after you have literally breaking him down and brought him to his lowest point in his life? Now you wanna be with him? How much more fucked up is that? You know?
Toxic. Been there, done that.
And she said something else. And well, okay, I'm gonna loosely quote this because I want to say I heard her say it. I didn't watch the whole interview because I can't stand to listen to her talk. I didn't watch the whole interview that she did with Good Morning America or whatever, but she said something to the effect of, "Who's gonna want him? Like, who's gonna be there for them?" Do you want to take names? Do you want to start a list? Do you know how many women out there that will gladly take that man, lick his pole every single day, and be the perfect woman for him? Do you know how many women he would have a line out the door?
Yeah,
have you seen I Am Legend?
right. There's plenty of women out there ready to get jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I wanted to fuck him when I saw I Am Legend. Running on that treadmill. I said, look at the Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, what do you mean who's going to want him? That is a woman that doesn't give a shit about that man. She doesn't care.
It's toxic. Yeah, like I said, been there, done that. Never.
You can't even say he whipped because you know he ain't hitting it. So you can't even say that it's good because he ain't getting it.
He's hitting something.
And she's the kind of girl that would make like they're separated, but she probably would make him feel bad if he went out and got, some strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it.
But yeah, we definitely had to touch on that because when you were on with us last time, that it just broke. So timing was good on that. But got a couple more things before we get out of here. I want to definitely touch on because we hit you with the TSP rocket, unbeknownst to you at the time. You've doubled your TikTok growth since the last time you were on here. So, you want to charge us these percentages and stuff. I think we might have to charge you for coming on the show because, look what happened.
Well, and here's the part where I'm going to sound like a pompous, like freaking ungrateful asshole. I was complaining to somebody about my views not too long ago. I used to only get like 500 views on videos. Now I get 1,000. Now I was complaining. I was like, man, that video only had like 1,000 views, and this video only had 3,000, and this video only had 5 or whatever. And he was like, bro, ain't that like double and triple what you used to get? And I was like, yeah. He was like, well, think about it. And I'm like, okay, I'm an asshole. You're always gonna feel like, because this is the way that I am about my content. I don't have a whole lot of time to do it. So when I do it, I'm trying to get it right the first time. Like, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it because I don't get an opportunity to do it much because I'm so damn busy. So when I put a video out there, I want everybody to see it. And when I'm saying everybody, it ain't got to have 20 million views. It ain't got to have 10 million views. It ain't got to have 1 million. I have 131,000 followers. It'd be great if half of them saw it every time I put it out there. And let's just say even half of mine are bots. So half of a half, that would at least still be 30, 40,000 views,
right,
per video. That's all I want. If people hit that follow button, show them my content. But if they follow me, there's people who like literally will DM me and be like, hey man, Are you still doing content now? This is kind of a dumb question because they can look at my page and see I'm still doing content.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you in months. I'm here. I ain't going anywhere. You know,
We have
and
a friend of ours on TikTok. He's got about 500,000 followers, and sometimes you have to go to his page to see his new shit because
yeah,
you just even on the little friends tab or whatever. Sometimes it, they'll throttle his shit. It's crazy, man. But
yeah,
another thing to kind of hang your hat on, along with your guy telling you you're double and triple in your views previously, even though it's 10% of your following, but
hmm
um, and we won't get into anything specifically, but you did a podcast with some individuals, and one's completely off the platform, and another, reached basically the pinnacle of success, and then got banned and is building his shit up, which is extremely unsuccessful at this moment in time. Could he
hmm
get back there? Maybe, but um, and then you're building your shit up, so that's definitely
I
something
appreciate that, and
to
not to
kind of
shit
think
on
about
those
as well.
guys. Um, you know, I hate it for anybody to lose their page, man. That is one of my worst fears is losing this page that I have. I see people that, and I don't know what kind of violations they get. You know, I'm very careful on getting violations, man. I know what I can do and what I can't do by now, and all the violations that I do get, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I was pushing the line on that one. Um, what was I about to say? Yeah, I see people lose their pages all the time. I turn around and they're like, I logged in and it was permanently banned. And I'm like, how does that happen? And like, do you know how hard I've worked to get to where I am, you know, and to just lose it on a whim? I I, I can't imagine starting over from scratch and trying to build another following again. And it's
Yeah.
frustrating. It's really frustrating. I love the guy, but Kingery, y'all know Kingery, Officer Kingery, right?
Mm-mm.
Maybe, maybe not. He was a big police officer. He was on actually Live PD when Live PD the show was on. Um, he created a TikTok page, I guess, around the pandemic. Got up to well over a million, multi-million followers. Had a scandal. They had some kind of tour that they had going on. There was a scandal. There was a big, whole gamut of accusations, all that stuff. Um, all of it panned out. Some of it turned out to be true, or most of it turned out to not be true. People had receipts, this kind of thing, whatever. But he had went off of social media when that whole scandal thing. He dropped everything. Went off of Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. I think he just wiped out all his pages. When he decided to come back, this man was back up at 1 million followers in like that. And I'm just like, how do you do that? You know?
Yeah.
How do you do that? It's taken me so long to get to where I am. 3 years, 3.5 years to get to at least 100,000 followers. And Kevin Udi, y'all have to know who Udi is. He's got like 7 million followers or 8 million followers at this point. He's been on this app the same amount of time that I have, and he's at 8 million followers. Hey, that's a big difference in growth. Big difference. So I am very thankful where I am. I am very thankful that I have gained some traction. I've had some people that help me out. Justin is a big help. You know, anytime that dude does anything that I'm attached to it, in any way, it always gets views because he just brings that kind of vibe to your stuff. So I've got people that help me tremendously, but I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, still nowhere near where I need to be, still not at a point where I can even remotely think about doing this for a living. Although I would love to, and I know people who are, and God knows how much content I would put out there if I could do this for a living. Y'all would get tired of seeing me. Y'all would see me because I would be posting that much.
I mean, it's like you hear those stories where, and I'm not suggesting this at all, but the stories of those just like dropping everything and just dedicating like every waking moment to their page. And that's such a giant risk, like
Huge.
if it doesn't work out, I mean, like, I hope they saved up something before they quit their job to at least get
Right.
by. But
Right.
if it does work out, then I mean,
And I have a number in my head of what I want in my savings account for me to even remotely think about doing this for a living. And that number in my head would keep my part of the financial household good for a year if I never made a dime. And that's it's a big number that I got to get to. Now, granted, I might get to a point where I might have some things in play where I can finagle some things and make it work, a little bit earlier. But that's kind of where I am, and I'm not gonna do it unless I'm like consistently bringing in, and having that number in the savings account because, I don't want to have that number in my savings account and then every month I'm just dwindling away. I want to make something to be consistent. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe I'll get there. Maybe I don't. I figured it out. I can't remember the exact math, but if I grow at the same rate, I'll reach 1 million followers when I'm like 60 something, like 62, 63 years old.
figuring out like a retirement plan.
Yeah. That's when I'll reach 1 million followers if I grow at the same rate. So, let's not do that. Let's speed it up a little bit.
I'm gonna need like a 20 leg parlay to hit one of these 20 leg parlays to hit before I start doing this podcast full time. So
you don't think about how important your jobs are, especially when you have benefits and all that stuff. Because you quit your job and you do this for a living, you ain't got no benefits. You got to pay for that stuff out of pocket, and it's way more money out of pocket than if you were with a company. So you have to factor that in, and then of course everything that you make isn't just money, in the bank. You got to set stuff aside for taxes, at least half, to be aggressive and to make sure you're covering everything. That's why they say if you want to make, $1 million, make two. It's just a lot, man. And I envy the people who can do it. I really do. I really envy the people.
Is TikTok even an app that? Because it seems like everyone that is making a living on there, like they all popped off pandemic time, 2021. But like last year, it seems like, especially now that I think they got rid of the whatever fund, the content creator fund. So that seems like it makes it a little more difficult. And it also seems like TikTok uses more of like an AI system to filter stuff out. I mean, I told you our very first video on our new page, they took the sound away because it claims that there's a copyright, even though this is a free. Our theme song is off a free instrumental that Dylan found on a website.
Right.
And it's just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make any sense. And we just started the page, and they're already fuck with us. So
there's so many ways to make money on TikTok. So many ways. It's ridiculous. And I've tried all of them.
Because you got to. I mean, now it seems like the way to make money now, you got to be a shill for that fucking TikTok shop. Is what it seems like. Because that's what my
TikTok shop. I mean, the main way is the live battles.
I see that too.
People are making stupid amounts of money.
I mean, I've seen a guy like
earning 6 figures a year from live battles.
Like Jason Nash was like a prominent figure in like the vlog squad, like David Dobrik, like those YouTubers and shit. and now I'm seeing him. I can't escape the fucking guy. He's on live every night. So I mean, because I think once David Dobrik went through his like little scandal and shit, that kind of fucked over everyone else that's with him, because that he was like their main source of views and shit like that. So now that he's kind of like on the lower end of things, it's kind of fucking them. So I'm seeing guys like that. But you're right. I mean, that dude must be making pretty solid amount of money doing the battles and shit. Which Dylan, do you know what we're talking about with that?
Yeah, you guys talking about the dudes who do Yu-Gi-Oh battles on live?
Not well. Those guys, there are those guys too, but
yeah, I seen those guys.
Yeah, well,
with the fucking big ass arm card holder.
But it'd just be two people that just fucking are on there screaming at their followers just to send them gifts, and obviously the more gifts you get, the higher your score is, and if you win the battles, it's a whole thing, man. You can make a list of a top 50 or something, and then if you make that list, TikTok will push your videos and your lives out to more people. You get more gifts, and it's the whole thing, man. But some of those people out there,
so is that the whole purpose of those like fucking cringy AI people? They go like this. Thank you for the roses. Like they're just getting gifts so they get their shit pushed out.
Those fucking morons are making probably the most money. Like
they were
fucking ice cream lady or popcorn lady, whatever the fuck her name is. Like, I think they were saying that she was making like 5 or 10 racks a day.
They're like, thank you for the glizzy. Glug, 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 glug.
So ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
There's this fucking one dude. He's like, because someone just sent a shit ton of fucking glizzies, and he's like, powering up for glizzy overdrive. He did it for like 30 seconds straight, dude. Oh man,
that's wild. It's wild, and these people are making money hand over fist, man. I mean, hand over fist, and I'm making pennies. Literally,
yeah. But, I mean, do you really want to do that every day? I mean, I guess. If it makes a lot of money, that's one thing. But it's just like, that's the thing now. Is like TikTok was the absolute fucking shit from like basically 2020 to about early 2023, and then they started implementing where like my For You page, it's got a little better, but my For You page for a while was all TikTok shot bullshit. The lives, I'm seeing fucking people selling cards and shit, all the lives, even if you tell them you don't want to see it, they're still just putting it in your face. And now it's just you're seeing these fucking grown-ass adults who were pretty prominent in like YouTube or these other spaces. I mean, I'm seeing even like Soldier Boy and all some
I seen Soldier Boy doing
like
battles
higher end, I mean, Soldier Boy's whatever now, but still he's
those Island
prominent.
Boys. They do battles too.
Yeah, I mean, they're just doing battles, and that's what it is now, man. Like, it used to be a place where you go watch some pretty entertaining videos, and you still can find them once you sift through your For You page, but it's just fucking, it's not what it was, and it sucks.
Here's the thing, there's so many people who are, like against live battles. They call it panhandling and this and that, and I'm like, guys, it's just another hustle. These people who are loading up, you have to literally buy diamonds. You have to physically, you have to buy them. You have to buy the diamonds. So you load up your account with diamonds and you give them out as you see fit. These people are aware of what they're doing. They're paying for this stuff. And, I think it's awesome in a sense because it does give a lot of creators an opportunity to do this for a living and give the people, because it's to me, I almost kind of look at it as if they're kind of supporting you. Like if I were to say, hey, I'm gonna go do a comedy show in your city, I want you to pay for tickets to sit down and come see me do comedy, then they're paying for that service. Even though this is a free app, if you have a particular content creator that you love, it gives you an opportunity to support that person in hopes that they're going to give you more content. Because the way that I feel about it is, if y'all want more content from me, then y'all support me. I got 130,000 followers. If half of y'all give me $1 a month, just half of y'all, if a quarter of y'all give me $1 a month, I can quit my job. That'll support me. and y'all will get all the content you want. But if I gotta work my 9 to 5, and I take my daughter to school, and I gotta come home, and I gotta cook dinner, and I gotta do all that, bro, you're gonna get what you get, you know, because the priority is that 9 to 5.
Where I disagree with you on that is, I mean, that's different in your case because you make actual content. But those people that are on the lives, you click on their page, it's just fucking videos of them getting a lion or a galaxy.
That is true. Some of them are,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
That's where it's like there's a fine line there, like where I mean, yeah, I think if you know, you had a little side revenue in there where you had more time to make videos because you actually will make full on like skits and shit.
Yeah.
Like a Drewski. Like Drewski's, I mean, he's up there, man. He's almost he's hanging out with A-list celebrities and shit, but he's still making skits and they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I do
so much.
Know, so there are some people
I would be all over this app.
That
all
still
over that
make
app.
it happen. But
it is crazy too. Like just asking for $1 doesn't ask like, I mean, it's not like much at all. I mean, like we know just doing this podcast for a few years now, it's like it's hard to just have people like an episode. You know,
we're just
hit
asking
the
for
like
likes
button.
at this point. Yeah,
I mean,
we can't even like.
That's for free. It takes 2
right.
seconds to hit a like button.
Yeah,
they'll scroll right past it. I mean, like I wish that Twitter or X, whatever, didn't have the ability to see how many people have saw your tweet, because it's just like it's almost demoralizing of like the ratio of how many people have seen it compared to how many people has engaged with it, and like it's like I don't need to know all that. I just need if you liked it or not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Bobby said, "Screw this. I gotta go try to make him.
Issue.
I gotta go try to make him as my girlfriend before she sees this."
Hey, like I said, once a week every month, or not once a week every month, once a week every week for football season, or a whole week every month. So, I mean,
I see what you're saying. I think it was the way.
Well, I'm obviously being facetious. So.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because my daughter knows on Sunday you're not getting a whole lot out of me. She knows it.
Yeah,
you know, my wife is typically at work, so it don't really matter because she ain't here anyways. But my daughter knows not to mess with me on Sunday if I'm watching football. She knows it. You know, it's my time. That and when I'm pooping, leave me alone.
I mean, I still can't even get that. Fucking no knock central over here. Can't even take a shit in peace, but yeah, I'm the same way. In the back of my mind, if I was by myself, it'd probably be a little more rowdy on game days and such. But the girls like watching. I got 2 girls like playing downstairs in the basement while I'm watching the Browns game and being around me and stuff. So I keep it a little bit more tempered.
Oh God, we're not circling back to this shit again, are we?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to give them the image of like, oh no, it's football Sunday, stay away from dad.
Yeah.
Like I want them to be able to enjoy football as well and enjoy the Browns. So.
Yeah, we'll get off of it, Bobby.
Sorry, I had to.
It's getting sweaty.
I had to take a piss. No, I had to take a piss. But we got one more thing, and there was something that you had brought up to us. You actually made a video of it on TikTok about a little incident you had, which is Wegmans like a Walmart of sorts out your way, or what?
You can't call Wegmans Walmart now. No.
Is it just strictly a grocery store? Is it a superstore? I have no idea.
It's like
we don't got one here.
Do you know what Whole Foods is?
Yeah.
So take Whole Foods and like whatever your most popular grocery store is, but then make it so that they have everything, and they have like all kinds of prepared meals and stuff that you can buy.
Interesting.
It's a pretty awesome store. I used to love it, and I still do love it. They were acting really ignorant, but yeah, it's a pretty dope grocery store. Is the way I could describe it.
Okay.
But so yeah, long story short, I walked in. I'm in my work clothes, like literally I have my work shirt on, my work hat, my work jacket, that has all the logos of where I work on it. And I'm in there to pick up some stuff. I go down one aisle. I see this guy. He's wearing all black. I didn't really think anything of it. He looks me dead in my eyes. I like do this, and he does that, and he doesn't have anything in his hands. And I walk into the produce. Then there's another guy standing, and he's got on all black. Now they don't have any Wegmans logos on them anywhere or anything like that, but they're both wearing all black. And he looks at me. I don't even think I acknowledged him, but I noticed he looked at me. I go back to another aisle, and I see the guy that I saw in produce coming up behind me. So I kind of turn around, and as I turn around, he notices me, look at him, and then he dips down the aisle that he was near. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So go do some more shopping, go over to the beer section. And as soon as I get into the beer section, I'm looking at a beer, and I turn around, and I've got the first guy that I saw standing right near the beer section looking at me, but not in nothing in his hand, nothing. Just standing there looking at me. And I looked at him for a second, and I started to say, can I help you? But I'm in my work clothes. I'm not going to make a scene, in a grocery store when I'm, representing the company that I work for. That's just not good business. But then I went to the register, and one of them, literally, so I walked parallel to him because there's a middle aisle. I was walking kind of parallel to him. And when I went to the register, he walked up behind me in the register, kind of looked into my bag. Like I could tell he was kind of looking into my bag. And then he walked past and then walked out of the store, walked to the front of the store. But I'm like, bro, what am I giving off that makes you think I'm gonna steal some shit in here? And that hasn't happened to me.
Did you steal anything?
Yeah, I stole some shit. Yeah, I mean, I had to at that point.
You got no choice.
I got to give you what you want. You're obviously following me around thinking I'm going to do some shit. So I'm just going to take this shit. I'm just going to take something. I didn't. I did. I really did.
No.
I wanted to, though. Awesome. I wanted to. I just wanted
All right,
to
so
walk
he was
out
right,
with the whole thing.
But don't follow me around.
I wanted to walk out with the whole thing, just like,
yeah. I got some steaks in here, man. What the fuck?
Gotta give y'all what y'all want. Gotta keep stereotypes going. But that has not happened to me in a very long time. And when I tell you I've been discriminated against, it is documented that I have been discriminated against. I was part, and I don't know if I told y'all this earlier in the other podcast. I was involved in a class action lawsuit for racism. When I used to sing professionally, I sang in a choir. It was a children's choir, but we used to travel around the world and sing in different concerts. We got on a bus, we went to a concert. I can't remember where we were. I want to say it was Virginia or somewhere, but we stopped. It was a bus full of kids, and we were all black kids. And we stopped at a Denny's to eat, and they wouldn't serve us. They didn't have anybody in the restaurant. They weren't going to close, but they wouldn't serve us. They wouldn't serve us. So the organization, because we were called the Martin Luther King Jr. All Children's Choir. So the organization that was responsible for that choir filed a class action lawsuit against Denny's, and we won. And when I turned 18, I got $1,500 in my bank account from that settlement. And I bought my first car with that money. So Denny's literally bought my first car.
Yeah.
So I've been discriminated against. And then when I was a cop, good God, I got called the N-word a lot. A lot by
which is kind of,
my people and white people.
Say in general, but to say somebody that's got a fucking gun in their hip is even crazier.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. And I don't even know if if they were just following everybody around, they could have been bored as hell. There's a lot of things. But the wild thing is that I know the head of asset protection in this area for Wegmans. He is actually a cop that I used to work with. He was actually a former sergeant of mine. So it's like, bro, you're following around the wrong person. I promise you. While you're following me around, somebody else is stealing some shit. For sure.
Yeah, two of them on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I used to deal with those guys all the time. So I mean, I know it was them. I'm 99.9% sure that they were loss prevention. The way they were walking around, they were just looking for somebody to steal some shit. And I hope we find somebody. Do what?
You were grocery shopping?
Yeah.
That's weird. Usually they would be like more Roman, like the general merchandise area.
Well, but the thing is they have a lot of expensive stuff in there. Like they have A5 Wagyu steak in there. It's like $100 and something an ounce or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
They carry the really, really high, expensive caviar. They've got really, really expensive bottles of wine. I mean, they've got some stuff in there that costs some money for sure.
Gotcha.
So they've got some assets to protect for sure.
Nuts, man. Yeah, I mean, it sounds sus. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe you got it wrong, but from the way you described it, it seems definitely as you suspect it would be. So
yeah,
that's weak shit. But before we wind down, let's try to get, hopefully a couple people over to you on the TikTok, Instagrams and stuff. Tell them where they can follow you and stuff, and how they can get a hold of your content.
So right now, I go by Terrell Wright on all of my platforms. So you can type in Terrell Wright and pull me up. Flamingo Jackson Comedy is what I used to go by. I still do kind of go by that. I'm like AKA, used to be known as, or artist formerly known as, that kind of thing. But Flamingo Jackson Comedy across all platforms. And actually, while I have you guys here, and I felt like this is an appropriate place to do this, I want to announce that I am going to start a podcast of my own. It's going to be called 411 The Podcast is the name of it. I already have graphics down, all kinds of other stuff. I just have to shoot my first episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot my first episode, and I'm going to drive traffic over to my YouTube page because I'm going to do it exclusively on YouTube. It's going to be a podcast just by myself, just kind of talking about some things. It's going to be short. It's going to be anywhere between 10, 20 minutes. It's not going to be super long. Just keep them really short, go over some current events. But I'm excited about it. It's something I've been working on for a little bit. And I finally have an opportunity to kind of start on it. So I'm going to get started on it. And I want to get to 2,000 followers on my YouTube first, though. And I'm at 700. So I've got 1,300 to get. So I'll drive some traffic over to that page. But Flamingo Jackson Comedy everywhere else.
Is that what the
Terrell
YouTube
Wright.
channel is too?
Yep. Flamingo Jackson Comedy is the YouTube
so
channel.
We'll make sure Dylan will put the links in the episode and stuff. So make sure to do that. We'd love to return the favor on your show too. And
Absolutely.
Then we definitely know somebody that cranks out some fire-ass theme songs. So if you ever want your own podcast theme song, hit us up and we'll point you in the right direction to our boy Sav, who's made 2 of ours, and there's some bangers, ain't there, right, D-Lo?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That. I mean,
man shoots 100%.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. I mean, your boy's got some vocals himself.
Oh
so
yeah, dude, he could do his own.
I might do my own.
Oh yeah,
and don't forget, we got D-Lo here too. So if you really want to,
oh yeah, if you need any falsetto background vocals,
please,
I'm your guy. Oh baby.
There it is. Let's go. We got a little battle of our own going here. Let's go, baby. That's what's up, man. Oh no, you said you're waiting until you hit 2,000 then. So as soon as basically you hit that, you're rolling them out, or do you have a
I'm gonna
specific
roll them
date in
out.
mind?
I'll have my now that I have announced it, I need to go ahead and get my pilot done, which I'll probably get it done tomorrow. I'll have the pilot done, so I'll definitely drop the pilot as soon as I hit 2,000. And then I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many more I do. I don't know at what frequency I'm going to do it. Luckily, because they'll be 10 to 20 minutes. I should be able to knock a few out at a time, especially if I've got enough to talk about. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna go with 1 a week, 2 a week.
I'll tell you now, 10 minutes is gonna absolutely fly by.
It will.
So
It will.
yeah, I don't think you'll ever have to worry about filling.
No,
airtime.
it won't. I mean, I can. I've done a minute videos over a minute for TikTok, and sometimes I'm like, I wonder if I hit a minute yet. And I look at it, it's like a minute 52 seconds, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm almost at 2 minutes. So yeah, it doesn't take long at all. So, and that's going to be the great thing about it. I think when you don't have a whole bunch of people talking, when you don't have a bunch of different people bouncing off of each other, you don't really want to hear just one person talking for that long. So that's why I'm like, I want to keep it really, really short and sweet. Chop it up that way people aren't getting too much of me. I don't want to oversaturate myself.
All right, so we'll be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, make sure you follow him on all the socials, and definitely follow him on the YouTube, so we can get this new podcast rolling out. And who knows, man, you might catch the TSP boys on an episode in the future. But
That's just up.
Let's put a bow on this one.
I got some new Reverend content coming up too, by the way. Just wanted to drop that plug. If you would turn with me in your Bibles,
you gotta check him out. You gotta check him out on TikTok. He does some awesome skits. They're pretty funny. He's he's one of the people that still make actual real videos and not just on there asking for galaxies and shit. So, but if you want to toss him when he's on, by all means, make sure you support the boy.
Hey, I see how much money they make. You might see me asking for some galaxies pretty soon. Just saying.
There you go.
I get some of that money.
Shit, you might have to get on the TSP TikTok. Maybe you can garner some shit with this new shit you're doing here.
Look,
thank you for the roses.
Especially if you can go live. Well, when you hit,
we gotta get 1,000 first.
Yeah, when you hit 1,000 followers, you know what? I got you.
You help us out, man. Well, first we need you to follow us. Follow us back. Make sure you follow us back.
Am I not following you back already?
You follow my little personal one, but we just made this, so it's
yeah, we had to make a new one because what happened to the old one?
I don't know. I somehow got logged out of that, and I just cannot figure out how to get the fuck back in there.
Do me a favor, when you get an opportunity to go in, find me, or go in the new one that you want me to follow. Find me, unfollow me, and follow me back. That way, it comes back up at the top, so I can see it. Because I don't remember when you did it, so I would have to go back through all the following. All the new followers I got, I'd have to go through them and try to find y'all.
Yeah, when we jump into post production here for a minute, we'll do that real quick, and then I got something else to run by you. But let's put a bow on it. Episode 160, a loaded one at that. D-Lo, we took a week off, so we had to make sure we came through and gave a little extra. Hopefully we'll have Joe back next week. Who the fuck knows? But we will hopefully be the 3-man crew. Plus we'll have our guy Todd Stahl with us to wrap up 2023. That'll be our final episode of the calendar year. And we'll definitely have some end of the year rewards. Awards, I should say. As you guys remember, we do the Fucko of the year, the Cuck of the year, MVP, and Rookie of the year. So we'll have four different things there, and all 4 of us on next week will have those. And then Todd Stahl, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, he has a big announcement that he's going to be sharing on our show, kind of like what Terrell did here tonight. So definitely make sure you tune in for that. But for now, D-Lo, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir. Wrapping it up on a loaded 160 for TSP. Be sure to go follow us at all of our social medias at TSP_2019. And you know what the saying is here, ladies and gentlemen. It's for a good cause. Go skull fuck that like button, smash the subscribe button, and just let the rest fall into place. Thank you again, Terrell, for hopping on. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you for 2+ hours. I hope we didn't keep you for too long. We got a loaded one, like Bobby said, next week. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. From myself, Bobby, and Terrell, aka Flamingo Jackson Comedy. Have a wonderful week, friends.